But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
Hanging from a thread till you dead, cause your partner put a price on your head. Cause your chick was laying up in his bed. She getting details, spilling every word that you said. She working retail, thirsty bitch just trying to get ahead. If history tell us anything, y'all both end up dead. It's just a street tale, a fable, some shit someone said. Sit at the table and hope there's more to offer than bread. Pulled out the cradle, first steps you getting chased by a fed. No head starts, just body parts and lead sparks. Old religion, brand new hate and weak hearts. Oligarchs, krakens, dragons, you see sharks. Imagine you could manage to maneuver the deep part. You a savage, you can have it, just show all your teeth sharp. If you could grab it, you could stab it, just aim for the bleeding heart. The ones that show compassion, the soldier that seeks art. Does the artist that wage war take over or take part? Taking a knee, thinking no one faithful is me. I'm good people in bad lands, no evil live within me. I mind mine, I'll survive, find this land's for the free. If I'm mistaken, I'm forsaken, no one rescuing me. Residual effects, stray bullets through familiar necks. For any number of infractions that I deem disrespect. Your beliefs, you deserve better, but we both in the shit. You just haven't come to grips with it yet. Fight or flight, and they ain't really nowhere to go. If your back is against the wall and you ain't throwing no blows, you gon' crumble in the rubble, become blood in the snow. If you a victim, they collect them, grab the body and go. Dig them and ditch them, total disregard for the soul. Gas them and lit them, watch the flesh burn in the glow. Where we live and catch a shivering, it's a hell you don't know. Your best hope is that your dying ain't slow, or your dying's a show. Where we at, it's every man for his own. A bloody backdrop, where killers just zone and slice flesh to the bone. Masked and gloved up front of your home. A flash of gun, but the side of your dome. Fresh blood from a stone, dents in your sense. Kick your fucking ball through the fence. Dare you to say something. No sense in sitting around in suspense. Find out what's next. Open your fucking mouth, disrespect. See the extent of how my life is intense. She beautiful and oppressed in a permanent summer dress. She a servant and still she blessed. Children cradled against her breast, whispering prayers, wishing their souls the best, knowing that they forgotten, not forgetting they're blessed. The bloodiest red lights, just piles of dead life. Something must be broken, the glyphs wasn't read right. You think them Bible papers will shed light? Yeah, right. Burn after reading, tell the preacher I'm leaving. What is poppin', people? Welcome back to the Ill Cartel. I am your host, Shy Ill, and we are back in the building. Salutes to you for joining me on this lovely Friday evening. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me today. Salutes to y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everybody got their week done in tremendous fashion and got that money. Millions. Salutes to y'all. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's poppin', y'all? Good to see y'all. Salutes. All right. Your boy almost canceled today's show. Very close to canceling today's show. Unfortunately, my brother Oso lost an uncle yesterday. All right. Rest in peace, Tío Oscar. And I lost an aunt today. All right. I know everybody in the world got their problems, so to everybody grieving, salutes to y'all. Thought about not doing the show and then said to myself, and what's the alternative? Sit around in grief? Nah, I'll go hang out and do harass stuff with my friends. And that's where we at. So, we got a couple of things to cover tonight that we will. But first and foremost, I want to say rest in peace, Tío Oscar, and rest in peace, Titi Myrna. Salutes. All right. Welcome, y'all. Glad y'all here. Let's get it. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. Shout out Zoraida. Hola, Shy. Friday. Time to do hood rat things with our friends.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
All right. Drop your like. Wipe your feet on the way in. Don't bring in your bullshit from outside. All right. We ain't trying to hear it. Salute Zoraida. Shout out Shannon on the check-in. Appreciate you. Hood rat stuff with our friends.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
All right. Shout out 298. Salutes to you. Thank you for being here, sir. Appreciate you. All right. Shout out Shannon. Appreciate you. Mr. Joshua. Salutes. All right. What's poppin'? Hola, Judy. Thank you for joining us. Shout out Velez on the check-in. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for being here. Shout out Judy. Condolences. I appreciate you. Thank you. Les, prayers to Oso and yourself. Salutes to you. I appreciate you. Shout out Upper Echelon. Condolences to both of you. Thank you very much. Sorry to hear that, Shy. Yeah, me too. It's crazy. Prayers to both your families. Thank you very much. Sorry about your family. Rest in peace. God bless. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I did the test, y'all. Remember I said, the last live streams were a test to test the new system to see how much time it saves me, right? It still needed my tender love and care, but the test was a complete and utter success, and it's only getting improved as we move forward. So expect me to have more time on my hands to do more creative shit and to cover all the channels, all right? Shout out 298 for the Flow State 200 joules. Appreciate you, sir. I like that Flow State one. That shit, I be in the Flow State. I was in the Flow State this week. Also just left. I told Also, man, when did we do our last live stream? It just felt like yesterday, man. But it also felt like a million miles away, considering I was focused. So I like that Flow State one. Shout out to 298 for the jewels. All right. Saludos Upper Echelon and the family. Yeah, salutes to Upper Echelon and the family. Salutes to Think Like a Kingpin in the family. He ain't in here, but salutes to them too. All right. Voltron Neck found me in another place where I didn't block him so he could say the same shit over and over. Voltron Neck keeps telling me how I sent so many viewers over there to tell him stuff about me and Jay. I told him to show it. He said, okay, angry man. Shut up, bitch.
Shut up, bitch! Shut your fucking mouth! Get out!
Get the fuck out of here. So I'm gonna have to block him over there too. You just can't deal with delusion. If you don't get it, you don't get it. It is what it is. He over there just regurgitating the same shit. But Yes, the test was a success. That first video that I dropped, that upload today of the Maito Gordo history is completely done in the new system and it worked. Shout out Shannon. Yeah, Tuesday. It was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. It just, you know what it was? That I didn't get to edit anything from Friday's live stream because all of those stories turned out to be bullshit. The Kim Kardashian story. There was a couple stories we ran into that were bullshit, so I didn't mess with them. So it felt like I lost a day. It's crazy. Shout out Upper Echelon, bro. Ain't no one watching this shit. Nah, he ain't got no traction. And I don't give a fuck. Go get some traction. Just shut the fuck up talking to me. You already did what you was gonna do here. You already disrespected me in my house. You know, fuck you. Shout out to that Angry Man. He said, okay, Angry Man. Angry? I said, you angry because we saw through your shit quick and easy. That's why you angry. Shut your ass up, man.
Shut up, bitch! Shut your fucking mouth!
Fuck out of here. But yeah, we're going to hang out tonight. We got a couple of things to talk about. We're going to talk about Chapo's nephew that got popped off. I want to look into it, see if that's the Irish nephew that we were just talking about like a week and a half ago. Because dude is a super ginger. You know what I'm saying? But he's a ginger that was actually in the game. He's not like Voltron Nick, who wasn't in the game. But we're going to look into that. Chapo's nephew. See if he's the Irish one. Because he looked like the Irish one. He looked like he river dances and shit. All right, we're going to cover the 7 mayors arrested in Mexico and Harfuk warning that they'll pursue politicians regardless of the party. That sounds ironic. Sounds like there's a little irony in that.
El Chapo $100, amigo. Hágame el favor de preguntarles a los cuates si me puedes mandar para las sopas ya que les hice el descuento de 5 la última vez que les mandé algo. Saludos, chavalones.
That makes sense, right? A favor for a favor. Shout out to El Chapo. Glad to have you back. I haven't seen you in a while. We saw you a couple weeks ago. You've been active lately. All right. Shout out to El Chapo for the $2 power chat. He said, Amigo, do me the favor and ask the twins if they'd send me a little something for my soups. You know, considering I gave them that discount of 5 the last time I sent them something. Saludos, chavalones. Salutes. All right. El Chipo wants answers. He wants, you know, throw a little something on the commissary. Again, this is not me saying this. This is El Chipo saying this. You know what I'm saying? He said, you know, the least you could do is throw a little something on his commissary. He, you know, he gave you a deal on them 5 on that phone call. You know? Salutes to El Chipo for the $2 power chat. Let's see what happens, man. Maybe you look on your books. You got some more phone minutes or something. You know? Who's in the members only live? He's the hey, his brother's El Chapo security was El Chapo's secretary for many years. Isaí Martinez Cepeda's brother, yeah, I believe they mentioned something like that down here. We're about to get to it. Bro, was Amigo on the pay to text? No, I hit it when he said Amigo. I hit it. My bad, wrong one. Amigo. I can make that the sound that every time that the power chat goes off, he says Amigo, but that's a bit much. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. Shout out El Chipo for the $2 power chat. All right, boom. So yeah, we're gonna cover him. All right, upper echelon. Maybe I'll move that. Yeah, that is the first story anyway. So you can give me whatever insights you can give me. Shout out Zoraida. She said, I'm back. Saludos. Welcome. Thank you for being here. All right. But yeah, the system's looking good, y'all. We working. If that thing can buy me some time back, I'll do some dope shit. I need to do some dope shit. It's for the soul. Who was that dude at 18? Anyone of relevance? They arrested dude a couple days ago out here in Cali. Hold on. Hold on. Got a bunch of shit going on here. Let me record this. His brother was a good dude, bro. They used to slave him. He would be carrying around grenade launchers and 40 millimeters with the Terminator grenade launcher, says Jay Flores. About Isaiah Martinez Zepeda's brother, right? Which we about to get to that, and I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that comment for the sake of the recording. All right, we might as well get to it. Ya que estamos aquí. Again, salutes to y'all. Hundreds up in the chat. I appreciate y'all for being here. Shout out Primo on the check-in. Boom. Wrong one. Come on, bitch. Get it together. There it is. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. Isai Martinez Zepeda, nephew of El Chapo Guzman, arrested in Nogales, Sonora. Isai Martinez Zepeda, the nephew of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman and a high-ranking Los Chapitos officer involved in synthetic drug trafficking, was arrested by Mexican security forces in Colonia Casablanca of Nogales, Sonora. Zepeda is identified as a high-ranking officer of Los Chapitos faction in charge of producing and distributing synthetic drugs to the United States and Costa Rica. He has an extradition order from the United States. Zepeda, then 25, was previously arrested in June 2008 in Sinaloa State by the Preventive Federal Police. He was arrested in possession of a 9mm pistol, an AK-47, a cell phone, 2 communication radios, a USB drive, a vehicle with a temporary permit to circulate from the state of Sonora, 2 avocados, a piece of bamboo, a survival knife, and a cell phone. Oh, just kidding. He was briefly transferred to the Altiplano prison, but was later freed. Oh, he got his freedom back, okay? He got his freedom back. All right, here's a hierarchy. We need to save this. Got all these people in it. Where's he at on the list? I don't see him in the list. But I could be just missing him. Probably a different picture. I see Wano. He is the brother of another associate of El Chapo, Enoch El Chinacate Martinez Zepeda. El Chinacate, who was arrested in 2005 in Sinaloa. Both men appeared on a wanted poster from the early 2010s showing El Chapo's officers. He's the brother of another associate. So wouldn't that other associate be Chapo's nephew too? And I believe that person is the person that Jay Flores is talking about in the chat. His brother is El Chapo's secretary and was El Chapo's secretary for many years. His brother was a good dude. They used to slave him. He'd be carrying around grenade launchers and 40mm Terminator grenade launchers and all kind of shit. His nephew looks more like Barbie's son. Let a bit. Right? This guy right here. Hold on, did I just turn that off? Or hold on. Damn, I read that with the whole, the thing not on screen. Hold on, I gotta read that shit. My apologies. Alright? Get your head in the game, Shy. Get your head in the fucking game. That was dumb. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so, despite my fuck-ups, because y'all fuck with me like that. Let's get it. Isai Martinez Zepeda, nephew of El Chapo Guzman, arrested in Nogales, Sonora. Isai Martinez Zepeda, the nephew of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman and
a high-ranking Los Chapitos officer involved in synthetic drug trafficking, was arrested by Mexican security forces in Colonia Casablanca of Nogales, Sonora. Zepeda is identified as a high-ranking officer of Los Chapitos faction in charge of producing and distributing synthetic drugs to the United States and Costa Rica. He has an extradition order from the United States. Zepeda, then 25, was previously arrested in June 2008 in Sinaloa State by Policía Federal Preventiva. He was arrested in possession of a 9mm pistol, an AK-47, and a cell phone, 2 communication radios, a USB drive, and a vehicle with a temporary permit to circulate from the state of Sonora. He was briefly transferred to the Altiplano prison but was later freed. He is the brother of another associate of El Chapo, Enoch El Chinacate Martinez Cepeda El Chinacate, who was arrested in 2005 in Sinaloa. Both men appeared on a wanted poster from the early 2010s showing El Chapo's officers. All right. I'm going to have to edit this one myself because my editor is going to be like, what the fuck did you do? Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. I don't know if this is the Irish. They didn't mention nothing about him. He sure does look like the Irish motherfucking cousin, though. No, if there was an Irish cousin and you had to picture an Irish cousin in your head, wouldn't it be this fucking guy? Just the other day, in a live stream, we were sitting here talking about how the Chapitos had a cousin from Ireland, right? And then a week later, I see this. We were just talking about it. I said, damn, we got an Irish guy, huh? And then this guy, he looked mad Irish, but then again, he looked like he could be Canelo's brother. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that this guy ain't got nothing to do with Ireland. You know, straight Mexico. Wait, so they released the dude they just arrested? No, that was from another arrest in 2005 that they released him. Where's Viva Ireland to confirm if that's the cousin? Yeah, where you at, Ireland? We need confirmation. What does this guy look like to you? This guy from the McGregor clan? What's going on here? All right. Shout out Zoo family on the check-in. Appreciate you. Shout out Upper Echelon. Not the same one, but I don't know if this is a real nephew. Okay. It seemed strange the way they said he is. They said he's Chapo's nephew, but then they said, but he's a brother of another Chapo associate, not another nephew, not another. See, so they be out here bullshit.
Bullshit.
That makes sense. So it's not the same as the Irish guy. But don't know if it's his real nephew. Okay, I'll take it. This fucking guy looks like he's wearing wooden shoes and dancing and shit. Like he got a pot of gold at the end of the fucking rainbow. I'm just saying. The green shirt didn't do shit for you, bro. But I'll leave it at that. I'm just talking my shit. Can I talk my shit? Hit that like button. So let me ask y'all. I know I gotta be the bearer of bad news all the time. Is this just another bullshit, another motherfucker arrested, and we gotta hear the story just because somebody said he's Chapo's nephew? Is this the what's it called, the media cycle that we've been talking about? How they just gotta pick something up to throw a name in there. Then I use the name. I'm gonna use it because I want to fuck, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that this doesn't sound like just another locked up motherfucker. Again, Jay has clarified that his brother is very high and close to the game, so I get it. But god damn, we gotta talk about everybody. Also, I don't think that Chinacate actually stood in prison in 2005 because the wanted posters were from 2010. Why would they say wanted if he was in custody? I also remember clearly that was around Christmas 2006, 2007. Yeah, that looks funny too. They said here, Zepeda then 25. How old is he now? You don't tell me how old is he now? I gotta do the math. was previously arrested in 2008 in Sinaloa State. He was arrested in possession of all that shit. He was briefly transferred to Altiplano, later freed. He is the brother of another El Chapo associate, El Chinacate, who's supposedly in this poster. But if this is from 2010, from early 2010s, that would say after January. So they get shit wrong all the time. Upper echelon. One of those kids that been around so long, he calls himself Theo. He says he's his nephew.
No mommy's wait.
They get a news story. They also get a target. No? Te metiste. You called yourself the nephew, and now we got you on a kingpin charge. The dude sold me an 8-ball at the Lucky's pub a year ago. Fleeced me. Be like that, man. Lucky Charms. I'm joking. We know. Allegedly. Is this just another made up, let's talk about this guy that got arrested because let's talk about this guy that got arrested? I guess. Supposedly his brother, well, according to Jay, his brother, so not supposedly, I believe Jay, but according to these people, he that guy wasn't Chapo's nephew, so which one is it? Yeah, they also don't have the same last name, so I don't know if that's his actual nephew. Well, that happens too, of course, but I hear you. Well, you're popped, Papa, and you're going to be on the next thing smoking too, the United States of America.
This is America.
They about to ship your ass here. I hope you got some good English so you can understand some shit. If you got English the way you look, then you'll be all right. But if you don't speak English,
motherfucker, do you speak it?
everybody going to be trying to talk to you, thinking you speak it. No hablo de inglés, bro. They about to expel. They're not gonna extradite you. They're gonna expel you. That's what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna do. I don't know. It just seems like, why are we talking about this guy? Fuck are we talking about it? Are we hearing about Maito people getting arrested? Are we hearing about that? I don't know. If I look through the headlines quickly, I see Chapitos doing foul shit. Right? Factions, cells. All right, little pressure against the Chapitos. Could it be true that it's not looking good for him? Could it be true that there's a deal being made to kick rocks? You know? To kick rocks and get a deal and cooperate somehow. We're gonna check out, I know y'all gonna love this, we're gonna check out Kata. All right, Katarina Zolk, having a conversation about that. We're gonna do that in a bit after we get to this this story here. I just wonder why the ginger was news. Let's get it. Boom, hit the buzzer. Let's get it. Hit that like button, people. Salutes. Make the math make sense. If you've been here more than 5 minutes, we've entertained you and we've earned it. Don't cost you a thing, and we won't see who did it. We won't see who didn't either, unfortunately. Shout out 323G on the check-in. All right, Daddy said, "What's up, JP?" I think she's saying what's up to JP in the Overwatch in his ghillie suit. Salutes to JP. Shout out Willie Palms. What up, Il Cartel? Checking in. Hope everyone's well. I had a great week. Shy, sorry about your loss. Appreciate you. Thank you. Mods, keep kicking ass and taking souls. Be good. Have a great night. Same to you. Safe travels. Get that money.
Millions.
Get you some rest. Salutes. Boy, I got all the fans going. It's still hot in this. About to turn that AC on. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. So we've been seeing that El Rocha has been indicted by the United States government. We've seen people around him turn themselves in. We've seen his political party say that they're going to stand behind him and protect him. And we've not seen him again. All right? He disappeared with his 17 trucks of security off into the sunset, and we don't know where he's at the moment. We've been wondering if they've been playing political favorites, connections, and how far they're going to go to protect El Rocha. We also saw El Rocha step down as the governor. All right? I forgot to mention that part. We saw him step down as the governor and disappear. But as far as the Secretary of Security of Mexico, Omar Garcia Harfuch, he says they're gonna pursue politicians regardless of their political party. 7 mayors arrested in Mexico. 7 mayors. All right. This guy's looking for a seat where that lady sits. He wants to be the president. He has a personal gripe with a lot of these guys, and he's getting after it. And I guess they're turning their eyes to the political parties now, or to the filthy, connected, fueled up politicians. The problem is those same politicians probably point their finger at him and say the same thing. Shout out Soul Man. Saludos, Shy. Have some time to watch. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Shout out Primo. Wait, I didn't catch the loss. Whoever it was that you know, Shy, sorry for your loss. But I appreciate you. All right, my brother also lost an uncle yesterday. I lost an aunt today. So I appreciate you. Thank you. Shy, I said hi to everyone in the beginning. JP Wave was on the way in. Salutes. I peeped it. Shout out JP and his Overwatch. All right, salutes. Let's get it. Seven mayors arrested in Mexico. Harfuch warns they will pursue politicians regardless of the party. Some of those politicians are pointing right back at him, saying, hey, man, you're one of those guys. But we'll see. 7 mayors have been detained in Mexico, regardless of their political party affiliation, highlighted Omar Garcia Harfuch, head of the SSPC, while affirming that there will be no impunity for those with ties to organized crime. You always got to remember the words you say. But make sure them shits don't come back to haunt you. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. On Wednesday morning, the Secretary of Security and Citizen Protection, Omar Garcia Harfouk, warned that there would be no impunity for political figures linked to criminal activity. You just said that in this sentence. Coño, man.
Coño, man.
During the morning press conference held by President Claudia Sheinbaum, the official revealed that so far during this administration, 85 public servants have been successfully detained. Prominent amongst those arrests are 7 municipal mayors from various jurisdictions. Okay, so this has been happening during the administration. So this didn't just happen in one fell swoop. Okay, a little deceitful right there. Right? In a previous interview granted to La Jornada, the secretary emphasized the nonpartisan nature of these actions. Wherever there are indications and evidence against those who commit crimes, whether they are current or former public officials, they will be investigated and detained. It is also very important for the citizenry to know that this applies regardless of party or political stripe. In these cases, those involved come from every party from across the entire political spectrum. High impact statistics. Harfouk asserted that the security strategy has resulted in a 49% reduction in intentional homicides between September 2024 and May 2026. This decline, described by the secretary as unprecedented, is accompanied by the capture of 54,300 individuals for high impact crimes. The official report details a significant financial and operational blow dealt to criminal organizations through the seizure of more than 400 tons of narcotics, 2,400 destroyed clandestine laboratories, nearly 30,000 seized firearms, 78% of U.S. origin.
This is America.
Garcia Harfouk reiterated that the primary objective is to ensure that there are fewer criminals on the streets and that peace increases amongst the population while maintaining vigilance over the conduct of public officials at all levels. This is just a pat on the back story. Yeah, we got 7 mayors across this. We got 85 public servants across this administration's time in office, and we're bringing down the crime rate. Man, you got a whole war going on in the whole place over there. So I don't know. We'll see if they hold to their words about going at every political party, regardless. Because I told you there'd be some separation from El Rocha. And that shit was almost immediate. That was almost immediate.
Bullshit.
Wrong one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Shout out Zorada. Sorry for your loss. May God give you and your family the strength to go through these difficult times. Rest in peace. Had to go back and listen to know what everyone else was talking about. Salutes to you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Such is life. Shout out Primo. Sorry for your loss also. Salutes to my brother, his family. Do you guys think the government is supporting the Maito faction? Hold on, let me get to that. Let me get back to that in a second. Shout out Willie Palms. Boom, boom. All right, let's get it. You think the government is supporting the Maito faction? They don't seem to be going so much after them compared to the Chapo faction. Yeah, man, it seems that way. If we're looking at what the news is reporting, that's what it looks like. We've seen a lot more of that than the other way around, really. And this guy here, he got his own, you know. He's gonna be known as the guy that went after and got Mencho, you know. And they tried to take him out, so he got his personal gripe with them. So, but who knows how this will work. What we do know is that it hasn't ended. The people of Sinaloa have yet to be free. of that sucker ass war, and yeah, it's a lot of bullshit going on. Bunch of bullshit.
Bullshit.
Shout out Zoraida. Also, my condolences to you and your family, to you as well. May God give you the strength to go through these difficult times. Rest in peace. Salutes to them. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right, let's see what else we got here. So they basically had to remind us that they've gotten 85 public servants and that anybody can get it. This sounds like a very... It's funny that the president mentioned it, right? It's funny that the president is the one that mentioned it. Hold on, I fucked this up. It's funny that the president's the one that mentioned it at a time where people got her under pressure to see if she is indeed going to protect El Rocha from the United States. And they said, okay, people are stressing her about whether she's going to protect duelists. She said, you know what? Let me show y'all. We've arrested 85 public servants. We're not hiding from politicians. We're coming to get them too. Just not us. The United States is coming to get us. No? Ain't that what it looks like? She put out that statement, then they talk about it, they put out these stories. It's on the topic, right? It's talking about her going after politicians, him going after politicians. You know? There's just a level that they're going to stop at. There's a level of politician that they're not going to go above, going after. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the members, the wrenches, the usual suspects. Boom. Salute to the donators. Appreciate y'all. All right. Slow news week, boy, in cartel country. Just more dismembered people and more people suffering. And nothing to see here. More blockades, more flipped over trucks, more bodies. We're going to cover this story here too, quickly. Listen, the word of Colombian mercenaries is growing. Just more stories about it coming from different places. We just talked about it the other day. Let's do this real quick. Because this is going to be pertinent to the video that we're going to watch of Kata and the other dude having that conversation. Shout out Dapper Dillinger. Y'all heard about, I don't know what you're talking about, but you're going to have to give us more context than just promoting somebody and throwing their name up, not telling us what he's talking about, none of that. So we ain't just going to run. Salutes Dapper Dillinger. I appreciate you. But who's he? What the fuck is he talking about? Dapper, I haven't been able to keep up with what's happening in Honduras, unfortunately, no. There's massacres everywhere. There's too many massacres to cover at this point. It's crazy. But what's Frank talking about? What channel is that? What is he talking about? Give us some context, please. Thank you. 3 Mexican meth cooks arrested at drug lab in Nigeria. In an increasingly common occurrence across Africa, 3 Mexican meth cooks were arrested by the Nigerian drug police at a raid on a synthetic drug production lab hidden in a forest in Osun State, Nigeria. Okay. On Wednesday, Nigeria's National Drug Law Enforcement Agency announced the dismantling of a major meth production operation involving Nigerian and Mexican operatives, arresting 10 operatives, including 3 Mexican cooks, identified as experts by Nigerian authorities. Listen, man, we're talking about poor people in a lot of poor places. Who you think they're making this meth for?
This is America.
And they're making it for Europe too. You know? Yeah, including 3 Mexican cooks identified as experts by Nigerian authorities. The seizure of methamphetamine bust is the largest in Nigeria's history, at 2,419.48 kilos of meth and precursor chemicals estimated at a value of 362.9 million USD.
This is America.
Shout out Dapper. They call it gringo food. This is America.
This is America.
That's what it is. Look at these guys. These guys look like they done fucked up, boy.
Oh shit, not good.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Shout out FJM. They gotta keep the scammers awake. You out of pocket. But that ain't for that. They ain't buying that shit. Little Timmy buying that shit. Shout out Velez. You think logistically that makes sense to make it over there and send it out here? Nah, I'm saying though, it's places over there that's getting it too. What I'm saying, it ain't a bunch of poor people just getting high. Somebody got to get the money to pay for that shit.
Old Soul sent $25 salutes CHIL salutes chat, saluting face emoji, 100 emoji. RIP, folded hands emoji, to our dearly departed, folded hands emoji. With that said, take a double, tumbler glass emoji, fuck IT.
Fuck IT, man. Shout out my brother Oso for the $25 power chat. Salute Shah Il, salute chat. Rest in peace to our dearly departed. With that said, take a double. Fuck it. Alright, salute my brother Oso. Rest in peace, Oscar and Myrna. And I will do so. Alright, salutes. Appreciate you. Shout out, so man. I believe the government is gonna get Ivan like Mencho, just waiting for someone to turn in his location. They out of Culichi, so Ivan and Alfredo have new hiding places in South Nayarit and North Jalisco. It's believed. Salutes. You think logistically? Yeah, no, it's somewhere over there too. I think they're trying to flood Europe and Africa with it. I agree. You know, like who said it? Shout out Dapper. He said they most likely sending it to Australia. Yeah, down under America. It's America down there.
This is America.
It's for the Nigerian prince that all the people send money to. Yeah. They got the load. They're just waiting for the time. I feel like they always have the location. Yeah, I do too. I always feel like they just waiting to push a button. Shout out Velez. The guy that was on Julian's podcast had mentioned that they were making over there to send back here. That don't make sense. Unless they got a sweet lick. You never know. You come up on a sweet lick of transportation somehow. I don't know. You know, some kind of good deal. I'll be back. Let me get my drink. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. Don't be greedy. Don't cost you a thing. Look at these guys, boy. They done fucked up. They know it.
That you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Pinche Juan Carlos and Jesús. Lo cagaron.
Yo vivo tranquila con los peces.
Cagó el gallo. Cállate, hipopuerta.
Pineapple coconut. Shout out Oso. Hit that like button, y'all. Shout out Zoom. Just got done watching the Surviving on Chapo series. Do you have video when Jay or Peter called you for the first time? Yeah. There's live streams. You just gotta go through the playlist section or go to the live stream section. First Val came on. And then after that, the boys came on. It's out there though. Are you in our Discord? If you're in our Discord, we could try to remember to get it. But I don't know exactly where it's at. But it's in there. Some peace. Oh, they walk around with phones and can't stay off the internet. Shit, that CSI program with ESP32 can detect people's location with Wi-Fi. What you're doing in your house. Imagine what Uncle Sam got. Yeah. Shout out Velez. Did you listen to the Cartel Wives series? I think it's better than the Surviving on Chapo. I feel like the video when Val called in is in that Surviving on Chapo series too, no? Boom, shout out Velez. He dropped the link for you in the chat to that playlist. I think Val popped in during that whole thing. Pineapple coconut what? Pineapple coconut Humex hard nectar. Shout out to the wrenches. Look at these guys, boy. They know they done fucked up. Their services are no longer necessary.
Your services are no longer needed in the community.
Who the bomb clot?
Oh.
Look at these guys. They're like, man, I don't even know these guys. How do I work with these guys? I don't speak Spanish. The fuck? Fuck is this mud? Shout out HG on the check-in. Salutes. Discord link is in the chat, and the Cartel Wives link is in the chat. Shout out Declan. They shipped loads of it, meth, to Ireland. Apparently it was for Australia. See, that's what I'm saying. They just needed an outpost. They probably not moving that shit across the world. Shout out Upper Echelon. The book was okay. AKA relax, Velez. He said relax. He said quit hating. Nah, I haven't paid attention to anybody's story. Shout out Soul Man. CJ and G expanded a lot to Africa before Mentro's death. It also became a point to have meetings for Europe associates with Mexicans. Lots of guns come from Africa too. Cheap to pay for protection there. I'm sure there's a lot of upsides. The price of meth is so cheap right now, it don't make no sense. This is America. The Nigeria seizure comes just 2 weeks after South African authorities dismantled another major industrial-scale methamphetamine laboratory in Zwartrugens, northwest of Johannesburg, arresting 11 suspects, including 5 Mexican nationals, allegedly involved in supervising production. This was at least the 4th lab bust where Mexican nationals were arrested. They busting their ass over there, huh? I wanted to see this because we're going to listen to Katarina and her journalist friend have a conversation, and I want to have some of this background. Shout out Shannon, FJM. She's on it. Shannon's on it. Shout out HG. You got any stories of Don Juan, a.k.a. El Comandante, upper echelon? Boom. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. All right, let me see what else we got here that's pertinent to that video. Because I'm going to pop that video in. I'm going to have my drinks. We're going to chill out. Es viernes y el cuerpo lo sabe. It's Friday and the body knows it. We're just going to hang out, do hood rat stuff with our friends.
Hood rat stuff with my friend.
Right. Shout out Big June wherever he's at. Shout out Eddie Jimenez. Shout out Ducky on the check-in. Salutes. All right, I'm looking for this conversation. I want to listen to this conversation. There it is.
Something like you and I think.
I keep hearing about these Colombians. I don't know if I'm going to do it live, but I have to make a video about this Colombian situation of more Colombians popping up in Mexico, fighting in these wars. Keeps coming around, so I want to pay attention to it, see what's going on. Y'all seen that Cuban that smacked that dude in Mexico, and then the whole town showed up at his fucking door? Gotta relax. I think moving meth to Europe makes sense for Mexican cartels, but cocaine, they're a little late to the game. Shout out Michael on the check-in. Shout out Declan, salutes. All right, I want to check this conversation out. I know Ted is not going to like this part, but Ted, don't leave us. Keep us in your ears. All right? Hit that like button. I want us to touch on this conversation that they're having here. And the conversation is the CJNG to absorb Los Chapitos factions. The end game of the Sinaloa cartel civil war. All right? All right, the CJNG to absorb Los Chapitos faction, the end game of the Sinaloa cartel civil war. Hands up in the chat for y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. All right, this conversation will encompass a whole bunch of the stuff that we've been talking about. Let me stop this recording because that was Il Cartel News. This will be El Analysis. Boom. Start another recording here. Wow. Let's get it. Let me get these captions up. Make sure my sounds are good. Right.
Tango el gato, los pantalones.
Let's get it.
Anybody who tracked the cartel dynamic in Mexico knew that in Sinaloa, the state institutions, the state police, the state investigative bodies, everything, they answer to Los Chapitos. That's it. We knew this.
The opinions of the guests and host are their own and do not represent the opinions of Ironclad, the Border Patrol, or the Department of Homeland Security.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Borderland Dispatches, an Ironclad original with yours truly, Katarina Schultz. We have someone that's on the radar, of course, the new most wanted kingpin, and that is Iván Archibaldo. I've talked about this before and where the future of the cartel landscape is headed, the Chiqui Narcos, whatever you want to call whatever the hell situation we're living in. I'm with Stefano, again, All Source News, aka All Source News, and I want to hear what you have to say about where the U.S. is headed in terms of capturing or striking a deal with Iván Archibaldo, who is essentially let's just call a spade, in my opinion, the last stronghold of the Sinaloa cartel as we know it.
Well, first, Katarina, thank you so much for having me and for Ironclad as well. What's very interesting about Ivan El Chivaldo is he's always been kind of one of the high priority targets, either by the Mexicans and the United States in dual approach, right? We got reporting last year that he managed to escape a Mexican operation to capture him via a tunnel. And that
y'all remember that? We were talking about that in our live streams. We didn't know whether to believe it or not. I still don't know whether to believe it or not. These are all reports. We heard a lot of reports over the last couple of years, man. A lot of those reports have been bullshit. We heard them from reporters that were renowned. Independent journalists that were renowned. We're kind of jaded at this point. Yeah, maybe he escaped through a tunnel. Maybe they weren't even close. Maybe that was just another story. Maybe everybody's playing cops and robbers sometimes. Shout out FJ. I think that was the whole point of them helping out in the first place, to gain plaza control, then members. Quite possible. I mean, again, we spoke about those notions too. Do you think Ivan is negotiating a surrender? I think it's possible. Of course, that's a vague answer. Everything's possible to me. I think everybody going to get a deal. Why? Because they offering everybody a deal. You get a deal. You get a deal. You get a deal. You know, but at what point, I asked the question recently, at what point did you lose everything already? You could keep telling the people that everything is yours, but if your territories are being run by the people that came to help you, I don't know if that's the case, but if that is the case, then what do you got left? Your old man's locked up, your brothers are locked up, what do you got left? We heard the letter that they put out the other day saying, hey man, we ain't nobody going nowhere. It's going to be Guzman's here for a long time, blah, 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 blah. I said that's a sad place for his family. That sounds like a guy that still thinks he's going to win, or a guy that wants you to think that he still thinks that he's going to win. You know? Shout out that. A lot of psyops out there. I believe it. I tell my guys, believe nothing you hear, half of what you see. Absolutely. This is the world we live in. The news cycle has to continue. We have to be inundated with news every day. News that isn't news. I think we're dropping frames. Y'all let me know if everything craps out. They're definitely in contact with the CIA or DEA. Shit. They got family ties to the DEA for 30 years. They offer him a deal, he'd take it, bro. Ivan will get a deal or die like Mencho, unfortunately. Well, that's part of this conversation. You know, is that where we're at? Where he, you know, hey, I would make a deal, but how I know y'all ain't gonna smoke me when y'all run up on me? Ivan's negotiating because Manito Flaco. Hold on. That's just trying to translate. Oh, he's negotiating because Maito Flaco wants to put him in the dirt, and so does the Mexican government. Exactly. So that's still good. Drop your like, people. I agree. Listen, if all is lost, the only thing keeping you there is ego at that point. No? I don't know. You tell me.
Actually, the pictures of those tunnels kind of leaked, and we saw that. So he's always been this key figure they've been trying to go after. And clearly, if you're looking at the organization of Los Chapitos, there's really not that many key figures left. Very few left, right? And so slowly but surely since last year, but even all the way back in 2024 when the Civil War started to now where we are right now, the organization of Los Chapitos continues to be kind of degraded, and key leaders have either switched sides to the rivals, Los Mayos, or they've been killed or captured by the Mexican government. And that opens up a very problem for Iván Archibaldo, right? How can you maintain an organization when you're being pressured by the Mexican government and you're being pressured by the Mayos, right? And even entering an alliance with Jalisco New Generation Cartel has not been able to prevent the loss of your figures. And if anything, you can even make the argument that it might even...
They amplified it, absolutely. You could make that argument that's like, hey, man, yeah, we're going to help you, we got you. Oh, man, your guy fell off a cliff. No, it was an accident. Push that shit. They sourced the precursors to make the fentanyl from China. I think China is deliberately sending fentanyl in an attempt to destabilize the U.S. Quite possible. Quite possible. Same kind of tactics. It's the thing, they don't give you a deal over the phone. They will double cross you too. No, you got to be worried about everybody. Ivan's getting his Trump coins position, but honestly, I wouldn't count him out yet. If he's cornered, might pull a Pablo. Coño.
Coño, man.
Yeah, again, at that point, ego will be the only... If all is lost, then just go down with the ship or jump. Ivan's a stubborn man. He don't like being uncomfortable. Jail is uncomfortable. Oof. You got a point there. Shout out Elizabeth on the check-in. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a great week. Shout condolences to you and your family. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Prison looks like airports nowadays. Trust me when I tell you, I know firsthand. What that mean? Prison looks like airports. Shout out D-Life. They can't even get the two main ingredients since the Biden administration. That's when the fent turned to shit. Let's get it.
Accelerated some members loyal to Chapitos to switch side to Los Mayos, which is the very famous volteados. That's the term in Spanish, like the turncoats in a way, right? Loosely translated. And I think that now enters a very interesting...
Everybody want to talk to me about loyalty when it's a natural thing in these wars for whole factions to just say, I'm switching sides today. Why? Because you got with the guys that we were just fighting. No, but we need their help. But no, well, you use their help. We don't fuck with them like that. Loyalty. Miss me with the loyalty. Miss me with the game and the rules. Miss me with the bullshit, please. Shut the fuck up, please.
Shut up, bitch! Shut your fucking mouth!
Please.
Dilemma where Iván Archibaldo, there is credible reporting that he's entering into negotiations with the United States to turn himself in. Maybe as part of a plea deal. He can also serve as a key witness against Governor Rocha, the former governor of Sinaloa, who's been indicted. And it would be interesting to see if that were to happen, because then the question is the United States more interested in Iván Archibaldo, or are they more interested in Governor Rocha? And is it a message to say, look, the narcos cartels and the leaders, fine, but maybe the prize of the Justice Department are the politicians in Mexico, not necessarily the kingpin. So I think these reports, although it's very hard for us to get confirmation, to know for a matter of fact if it's definitely happening, it's not that surprising if it were happening. And as you said, I think if Iván Archibaldo leaves, it is very hard to believe that Jesus Alfredo would not be part of that agreement.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, if he turns himself as his brother Jesus Alfredo turns himself in, that's it. I mean, there were rumors that one of the remaining factions, so there's a couple of factions left that the Chapitos have. One of them is called René 00. There was actually rumors that he might have abandoned Sinaloa, but now the rumor is he's entered into a ceasefire with Los Mayos in southern Sinaloa, which indicates that that's the case. If René is having a ceasefire with Los Mayos, if that agreement is in place in southern Sinaloa, that means Rene is not going to use his fighters to fight the Mayos anywhere else, meaning that frees up Mayos people to go after against the remainders of Los Chapitos. So it's not necessarily that Rene has abandoned Los Chapitos, but if he has entered into a ceasefire, but that ceasefire is very localized to a specific area, the Mayos can then be like, okay, we want to go somewhere else and pressure Los Chapitos, maybe in the north, through Culiacan, etc. Others are, for example, Los Cascos, Fuerzas Especiales 81. That's another key one. They have a lot of drone guys that kind of drop things. Texas is another one. A guy, key name and alias is Texas. But the problem is they're not large enough. They're not significant enough within the organization. And the irony is Los Chapitos have been much more reliant on Rene to be that last remaining key figure to kind of hold off Los Mayos. And Rene is historically unreliable. I mean, he has switched cartels multiple times. I mean, he is a clear opportunist, very unreliable. And so the fact that Los Chapitos...
That's the name of the game. Unreliable opportunist right there.
No mommy's wake.
That's the name of the game. Shout out D-Life. Do you think Ivan just laughs when he sees these two talking about him? He probably laughing at my ass too. That loyalty shit was made up to control the people. Absolutely. Shout out Primo. I could be a so-called journalist too. After listening to these two, I could do it too. The rumor is that, and that's it. Then you just go from there. That's it. Done deal.
are really holding on hopes to him more than anybody else is pretty damning statement of the strength. So again, I think all that does indicate that something might be going on where Ivan Chivaldo might be interested in entering an agreement with the United States. And there's a lot of credible reporting indicating he is at least moving that direction, but not that he made that direction.
So I think the last time you and I talked on this podcast was when El Mencho was killed. And one thing that I kept saying and we were talking about was how, of course, Mencho was killed, because if Mencho was given to the United States, the amount of information that he had that was damaging towards Morena elite was just way too much of a loss for anyone in Mexican politics to accept. And now we're kind of seeing like the other side of that, where the Chapitos have been so cooperative with the U.S. that we're literally seeing tangible action being taken. Do you think at this point in time that Ivan is maybe already cooperating with the U.S. or is considering it? Like, what is his standing right now, especially after seeing what just happened to Rocha Moya and the 8 other officials?
I mean, it's hard to really tell. Clearly, at least Ovidio Guzman and Joaquin Guzman, right, the son, clearly they are cooperating with the U.S. I mean, I think there is no dispute that they're cooperating, and that a deal that they have where the 17 family members of Ovidio Guzman was able to enter into the United States kind of reinforces that. I think that opens an opportunity for the Justice Department to say, look how we treated your brother, look how we're treating your family member, right? Do you really want to run the risk of what happened in Mexico? And you bring up an interesting point with El Mencho, right? Like, you know, where he was killed. It's like, well, Ivan, do you really want to take your chances?
That's exactly, that's exactly what I've been thinking is, okay, how many times now, let's say like over the last 2 years, have Mexican forces said that, oh, they almost got Ivan, we were right there, and he escaped? At this point, what are we at, like 5 times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A significant amount.
Exactly.
A very significant amount.
So what are the odds that Ivan feels as though if he is captured by Mexican forces, he will not be captured, he will be killed?
Well, I mean, but again, it goes back to the issue which the indictment again.
And there's ways around that. Papa, go turn yourself in on TV. Make a press conference. You know what I'm saying? Do something to hedge your bet. Shout out Glory Days on the check-in. Salutes Glory Days. Welcome. Basketball season over yet, man? Don't worry about that shit, man. Come on over here, bro. Salutes. Shout out Glory Days. Salutes to New Zealand. I'm gonna rewind. I'm a bit late. Can't miss Cartel. That's her name? Cartel Propaganda Lady. They're saying that the Rene guy they are talking about in the video supposedly flipped to Maito Flaco or did some sort of ceasefire or something. So that means Ivan doesn't have many people left. Right. He's saying that that was the guy that he depended on and he wasn't very dependable. And now he even lost that undependable guy who was known to be a pancake and flip-flop back and forth from cartel to cartel. But there's ways around him getting. I mean, come on, man. Go do a press conference, bro. Turn yourself in on TV. What happened with the 2 CIA agents that went off the cliff? Nothing. Nothing to see here. We talked about them. We talked about people saying that the CIA blew up that cartel car on the highway that we covered a couple weeks ago. I got to make the video on that. Yeah, fly to the border like your brother, easy. This time, and bring your family. Don't wait for no extra. Don't wait for no green cards and shit. Just throw everybody on the fucking thing. Come on. There's ways around it. Is my point. You know. Now we've heard from people. I don't know if it was the twins. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said, "Oh, maybe they're just trying to get up as much money as they can." All right, Papa. How long are you gonna wait? Or they might come in there and smoke the shit out you.
Against the governors.
He will not be captured. He will be killed.
Well, I mean, but again, it goes back to the issue which the indictment against the governors, the governor and the political officers in Sinaloa shows, is that the Sinaloa state was subservient to los Chapitos. Right? I mean, I remember, I think I said it in yours, I've said it in other interviews and podcasts for years now. I mean, it was a known fact. Like, let's be real.
We all knew it all the time.
Everybody knew it. Anybody who tracked the cartel...
No. What the hell? Oh my God. No, mommy's wake.
That's funny. We knew it. We all fucking knew it. Everybody knew it. We knew it. Plebes. What agents? They moved on. We're talking about a ballroom now. Yeah. The news cycle moves quick. Bunch of bullshit over each other. Just overflowing. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so.
Dynamic in Mexico knew that in Sinaloa, the state institutions, the state police, the state investigative bodies, everything, they answered to Los Chapitos. That's it. We knew this. And so what's interesting, though, is that obviously when the Justice Department get it out in the media, okay, that then caused a significant political uproar that's very hard to kind of move away. And so the question then becomes, the other way to look at this, though, unlike it might be where is the politician the key figure for the Justice Department, could it be, no, it's still Ivan Archibaldo, but we're releasing this indictments against Rocha as pressure for the Mexicans against Ivan Archibaldo. Because at the end of the day, why Ivan Archibaldo? Why are people obsessed with Ivan Archibaldo? Got it, the Sinaloa cartel, but we don't see that with the Mayos, etc. Why Ivan? Why Los Chapitos? And for people to understand, if there is one person responsible for the fentanyl crisis in the United States, it's Ivan Archibaldo, right? They all push fentanyl, but there's a poster child.
Yes, and Ivan built those Chinese contacts. He was the one who decided to branch out into the synthetic.
I beg to differ. Wasn't the twins working with them Chinese contacts when these guys were young men? Y'all tell me if I'm wrong in the chat. No? Seems like the timeline don't add up for him to have cultivated all that. He just grabbed what was left and ran with it. Because Ivan was a good-looking dude in his day. That's why people like him 100%. That's it. That's all it takes. This is America.
This is America.
Glorifying these fucking dirtbags and shit.
Drug, which
a poster child.
Yes,
Ivan
and
Archibaldo.
Ivan built those Chinese contacts. He was the one who decided to branch out.
Listen, man, I don't appreciate her third eye right here. This shit is, first of all, it's a replica of her eyes, and I think it's moving. Or I've had one too many drinks. We were doing fentanyl in America way before it came from Mexico. Ain't that the truth? Facts. That is the truth.
This is America.
Into the synthetic drug, which became fentanyl. Yes,
Ivan
and
Archibaldo.
Ivan built those Chinese contacts. He was the one who decided to branch out into the synthetic drug, which became fentanyl, and that was like unheard of, especially in American streets, before Ivan proposed that and started to pursue it.
Look at, and for all that, like, if you look at, don't even just look at from the Trump administration, like all the sanctions during the Biden administration that were very geared towards the fentanyl, you see that it's that common thread. It's that, and it's Ivan, los chapitos, right? I mean, even got to the point, like, that's why AMLO, at the end of the day, went after Ovidio Guzman.
Yeah.
Right? Because, and so you can make the argument that maybe the indictment against the officials in Sinaloa was the way the United States to send a shot across the bow to say, Ivan, we're going after you, turn yourself in, or to tell the Mexican government, get your shit together because we want Ivan Archibaldo, even if its head's in a platter. Right? We want him. It could be just one of those dead or alive, right? And what better way to send that message than indicting the sitting governor of Sinaloa, and then now the state of Sinaloa, basically, although it was an open secret, it's another thing for the U.S. Justice Department in an indictment to lay it out clearly how this is, which again, didn't shock anybody.
No, we've been
really tracked this, but it's still significant.
We've been reporting on the fact that Rochamoya, state police, really anyone in state level government in Sinaloa in particular had nexus with the Chapitos. We've been reporting on this for so long. And I say we because you've been covering it, I've been covering it. Pretty much every single damn journalist who's ever touched Mexico has covered this. And yet it would kind of in a way fall on deaf ears, right? Like, oh yeah, you say that, but where's the proof? And a lot of people would say, you probably noticed this, like anytime there was reporting done that Ruben Rochamoya is corrupt and he is receiving money from the Chapitos, it was like, you say that because you hate Claudia, you say that because you hate Morena, and then the U.S. officially announces it, indicts him along with multiple others. So now it's like, okay, we have this tangible documentation that shows you, yes, Rochamoya for the longest time was profiting off of the Chapitos' existence in Sinaloa. What happens now, though? Because if the majority of the Chapitos are in the U.S., majority of them are striking deals, they're giving out information, family members are getting asylum.
Yeah.
Where does Ivan stand in this entire thing? In his mind, is he thinking, okay, I want to cooperate so that I don't die, but I also don't want to cooperate because I don't want to be in jail like my dad who keeps bitching about how terrible it is over there. What does someone like him in that position even do?
And that's shout out to whoever said that earlier. I think it was Soul Man. Ivan's a stubborn man. He don't like being uncomfortable. Jail is uncomfortable.
I over there. I don't want to cooperate so that I don't die, but I also don't want to cooperate because I don't want to be in jail like my dad who keeps bitching about how terrible it is over there. What does someone like him in that position even do?
That's the thing. I mean, it has been, I mean, I am not convinced that Ivan Archibaldo would turn himself in. Could it happen? Absolutely. Like if you and I, like
man,
we could
at
be
this
doing
point,
this,
nothing surprises.
Exactly.
Well, again, that's why I tell y'all all the time, anything is possible at this point. Anything. That's why it's okay for people, independent journalists, to just say anything. Why? Because anything is possible. Chapitos only has Sinaloa because Mayo gave it to them to not conflict. Maito Flaco wanted to go at Ivan and Alfredo for a long time, but his dad didn't allow it. Ivan bit off more than he could chew in his showing. Fent made heroin completely extinct after 2020. I don't know. China White, but also Fent patches and lollipops from Pharma. China White been around since I was a kid. Before that. Miles don't push that Fetty then? So that's Chapo moving Fetty is what brought them so much heat? I feel like ain't nobody leaving $1 on the table. I feel like everybody got a lab for everything. That's just my personal opinion. I don't see the moral high ground from immoral motherfuckers. They know everything. Shit, take it to Poly Market and rack out. What the fuck are you talking about? Shout out to that third eye. That motherfucker looked like it was moving in there. There's been synthetic drugs way before Fetty. Fuck they talking about. They need to put that much emphasis on stopping meth too. This is all a side mission for this government. This is just headlines. Let me go get this 93-year-old Cuban dictator so that when in the history books they write that I went and I got this 92-year-old Cuban dictator. They all push Fent. The profit margins are too high not to push. Exactly. If you can move it, they basically send it to your doorstep if you know what to do with it. It wasn't just Fent. It was buprenorphine. Oh, Suboxone, methadone, oxycodone. They're all better and more powerful than H. Fent was their own. And guess what? And Walgreens was selling it. China White talking about it in a Half-Baked. The movie has been around a while before we knew Fent existed. They just mess with formulas and make it stronger. Yeah, pre Half-Baked even. It's profit margins thing. That's it. Heroin isn't nearly as profitable and it's way more labor. One is organic and one is synthetic. Black market synthetic heroin, China White, has been around for decades. Many. Shout out Glory Days. You could just tell this woman, stop it. Nothing behind those eyes. Relax. There's 3 eyes. And all of them, not even in the third one? Alright, you guys are turning this into chemistry class. Chapitos have so much heat, not because they're the only ones to make fent or meth. It's because they're difficult to deal with and negotiate with. Yeah. Too much gangster shit, man. People are cooking meth on their stoves all over America. Shout out Shannon.
This is America.
Crack 2. Apparently Mexico doesn't produce proper heroin like they do in Afghanistan. Shout out Velez. That's the problem. They make it too strong and causing a lot of ODs. Dial it down and let the users get high and not OD and they'll be fine. Then they'll tell you it's weak shit though. That's a addicted mind. Addicted mind say, that shit weak. Why? It almost didn't kill me. What happens when the Chapos were running around killing fent cooks? Remember? The pics of the bodies? That was all bullshit. Public relations. Nah, we ain't got nothing to do with this Fetty Wap. Meanwhile, they was pushing out product. That's true. The black tar was west of the Mississippi and it was weaker than the dope produced in Turkey. I think they all in it. It's profitable. Miles, everybody got to get that money. Everybody's getting a piece. The emphasis on all the Spanish words from these two let me know they're legit journalists. You hear it? Does it make you feel like it comes from a native tongue? I heard a stat that 60% of the overdose deaths, the people are on Lyrica, a central nervous depressant. It's crazy. 10 black speckled turkey dope is pretty damn good. I think it's just Afghanistan dope that's smuggled to Turkey. Y'all are wildin'. Too deep. Shy, do I remember correctly that Upper Echelon said the Chapitos didn't want to learn after Chapo wanted them to learn from the twins, or was it too much information for me? I don't recall. I just recall that, they weren't as interested in the learning process. That's all I recall.
Too much information and shit.
Chinese brought fent to Vancouver a long time ago. Shout out Johnny. So at this point, it seems like Miles are going to win their civil war. It seems like Mexican government is going strictly against Chapos. It feels to me like it's been over. Shout out to my brother also. feels like an election. I know it hasn't mattered in the last few elections, but, you know, when a new president's on the way in, the old president concedes the victory to the new president. And I feel like that's where we're at in this war. Ivan just hasn't conceded. And the war probably has turned into something different, more of a CJ&G versus the Miles thing. But that's just, you know, me. I'm just this fucking dumb YouTuber. What do I know?
Like, it could happen. Absolutely right. If there's one person I was more thinking, and I think I even mentioned this in one of the way back in the episodes we've had. Actually, it might have even been the first one where I was on your show. Like the one that I was like, okay, who's going to turn himself in? It was Jesus Alfredo.
Yes.
More than Ivan Archibaldo.
Yes, and you've been saying that for a while.
Now, it was very interesting that the Ivan Archibaldo also came up. It's like, ooh, okay, like this is the thing. Look,
Shout out Velez. Zoraida, were they the ones that wanted to sell it hella expensive and the twins told them they had to bring the prices down to get buyers? Shout out Upper Echelon. Jay Flores, get it from the horse's mouth, y'all. They didn't want to learn how to make money. They wanted to take money. It's easy when you got an army. It's easy when you know.
What I think this reporting, though, indicates and clearly shows, though, is I think there needs to be an understanding of the power of los chapitos. It is not what it used to be, right? I mean, I remember there was somebody reached out to me. Somebody was like, hey, man, I heard this rumor that El 03 decided to get, you know, and turned over El Jardinero because he wanted to double down and triple down basically in the alliance with los Chapitos.
I remember this.
He viewed the Jardinero as a threat. And I kind of like, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? Like, yeah, is there one person within CG, who is the one person who can break the Jalisco New Generation cartel by capability and maybe even desire? Like, if he wanted to go his own way, it could have been El Jardinero. Not that he was going to do it, but he could have. And there was rumors that he wasn't happy that he wasn't the leader. But let's make something abundantly clear. From Otre's perspective, Ivan Archibaldo is not that powerful, ladies and gentlemen. He's really not. He has lost so much power and influence that his most key players to defend his territory, specifically in southern Sinaloa, even if there's maybe, assuming there's not even a ceasefire in place, let's just say, is René, who again is the most unreliable human being you could ever have an agreement with. I mean, it is an absurd statement. And outside of that, son los guanos. Now, kudos to los guanos, the brother of El Chapo, right? Gente del Guano, everybody de Araguato, Sinaloa. Kudos to los guanos. They're punching way above their weight, specifically against Chapo Isidro, against El Músico, right? El Guano y los Calabazas are punching way above their weight, and they're still able to, even though they've lost territory, they're still somewhat causing problems for Chapo Isidro and Mayito Flaco. But they're out of this, when the Sinaloa Cartel Civil War started, if you're going to look at all the factions and the groups, El Guano was the least powerful of them all. And he was almost irrelevant. Like Chapo Isidro is a much more bigger player than El Guano, right? Again, he's punching above his weight, but he has lost territory. There's even a significant belief, and we have videos from members of Chapo Isidro and Mayito Flaco in La Tuna, Sinaloa. La Tuna was El Chapo's mom had a mansion in Tuna, and there's gunmen of Chapo Isidro and Mayito Flaco recording themselves in Ivan Archibaldo's grandma's mansion. Like, what are we talking about, guys? And so they've lost the territory of the budget. So that's the thing about Ivan, is like he has nothing.
From Focus Feature.
Did this guy steal my... What the fuck are we talking about here? He stole my shit? Did he steal my shit? Shout out so man. Shy, Flores twins ever talk to you about issues they had with Alfredo? I don't recall. It's so much, man. It's too much fucking
too much information and shit.
But I don't think we've talked much. We haven't talked much about the Chapitos. We haven't talked much. We talked some and I covered it, but we haven't talked much like in depth like that. I don't know how in depth the relationship went But if there's a rumor that you have that there was a problem, then, and I don't recall, maybe, and the chat usually is good at reminding me, Velez or either somebody remind me that, yeah, we talked about it this time, that time, the other time, but I don't remember. All right, greetings to you and your brother Jay. Salutes to you, Soul Man. Appreciate you. Oh, you're talking to Jay. Saludos to Jay and his brother. In La Tuna, Sinaloa, motherfucker emphasized the shit out of that. And then he threw the lie off that shit. He said, man, they were in Tuna, bro. They were all the way in fucking Tuna, bro.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
But I ain't got nothing against these people, man. It always comes off like I'm talking shit. I'm just kicking the ball. I'm doing hood rat shit with my
But I
friends.
wanted to do hood rat stuff with my
Hit the like button. Smoke them if you got them. Drink them if you got them. If you're sober, here's a hug from me to you. You know what I'm saying? Salutes to y'all. Hug your loved ones. Spend some bread. Save some bread. Start that business. All that shit. Get that money.
Millions.
And the producer generate world Damien and courage inappropriate indulge that to some extent. Okay, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that to some extent because
Go for it.
I do believe that the narrative that the Chapitos are completely done and that Ivan has lost, all this power is a little over the top, because also recently, and you and I haven't chatted in a while, but I've been tracking drug lab busts, particularly in certain African countries. There's some main ones, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and South Africa.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I saw
where
that.
over the course of the last couple of months, there have been major drug lab busts, particularly meth and fentanyl, that are directly linked to the Chapitos, with Mexican guys that are being sent over there to produce the product, run some of the logistics, and they're kind of going back and forth. So they're like, certain guys are being deployed and then they're gone, and then another group is deployed. And the US has been amping up their action.
Let me ask you something, and this goes to Johnny's question. So the Guzman family is basically exiled out of Sinaloa. Is her mansion the same as El Cielo? Because they didn't even mention that shit burnt down. That was their territory, and I saw them sending domes across on drones and shit. I'll let y'all decipher that. But that's what it sounds like. So the Guzman family basically exiled out of Sinaloa. That's what if that's what it sounded like.
On this, they're not as well resourced as they are, like, let's say in the Middle East, for example, for these types of operations. But most of these major drug labs, and a lot of them too, are supplying fentanyl precursors to the Canadian ports, which I've talked to before, and this is all connected. These are linked to the Chapitos. So if a cartel was, fully dismantled or had this absolute no sense of power, and I know what people are going to say in the comments, oh, she's with the Chapitos, we see this all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Just shut up. They would not be able to run major operations in...
I'm not one of those people. I don't think you with the Chapitos. I don't think you getting no inside baseball. You know what I'm saying? These people think that you got a dog in a fight. I know I don't got a dog in a fight. I don't know if you got a dog in a fight or not, but I ain't one of those people that think that. Yeah, so if they're getting hit hard, that's not a good sign of business going good. It doesn't seem good. Now, if you go look at perception, right? Perception is reality. What do they put in the minds of the people? They go put a picture of their Apple Watch on Instagram or their Lamborghini or some shit. Everything's fine over here. They put out a manta or a press release that says, nah, ain't nobody turning themselves in over here. You know what I mean? So, which one? What's the truth? What we see or the fucking magic hand and shit?
You're gonna say in the comments, oh, she's with the Chapitos. We see this all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Just shut up. They would not be able to run major operations in Africa to the point where it's garnered the attention of U.S. law enforcement to crack down on these labs in Africa.
So let me address this in 2 points. One, I'm not trying to make the argument that I'm talking about the power of Chapitos in reference to El 03 and CJ&G.
Okay.
Right from a card. Like, I think you and I would have been in agreement in no universe. If O3 has to make a decision, is Cardinero or Ivan Archibald? Pick one. He's going to pick one.
At Glory Days 95 cent $3.49 on YouTube. Just rewinding. Sorry for her loss, bro.
Shout out Glory Days. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. Just rewinding. Sorry for your loss, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you. Shout out Glory Days 4349 Power Chat. Salutes. All right. Shout out to New Zealand. All right. Hopefully I get out there one day. Go party in fucking New Zealand. All right. Salutes. Appreciate you. Hundreds up.
El Cardi. Oh, right from a Cardi. Like, I think you and I would have been in agreement in no universe. If O3 has to make a decision, is Cardinero or Ivan Archibaldo? Pick one. He's going to pick El Cardinero.
Any day of the week, 100%.
Right? I
feel like they're I feel like they're talking basketball or, you know, their favorite TV show or some shit.
Ivan Archibaldo, pick one. He's going to pick El Cardinero.
Any day of the week, 100%.
Right? I think you and I are in agreement there. So, two. Now, just because you're in a weekend state does.
What the fuck did he say?
I think you and I would have been. I'm talking about the power of Chapitos in reference to El 03 and CJ&G.
Okay.
Right from a Cardi. Like, I think you and I would have been in agreement in no universe. If O3 has to make a decision, is Cardinero or Ivan Archibaldo? Pick one. He's going to pick El Cardinero.
Any day of the week, 100%.
Right? I think you and I are in agreement there. So, two. Now, just because you're in a weekend state doesn't mean you still can do a lot of things with drug trafficking. Like, for example, don't underestimate the power of Chapo Isidro. You know, again, for our listeners who don't know, Chapo Isidro is not Chapito. He's not El Chapo. Chapo Isidro is Meza Flores, Guasave Cartel, former BLO, completely different, who's fighting Los Chapitos, right? So the two...
Plebes.
Two different guys. Chapo Isidro is a huge drug trafficker, and he's like territorial-wise very small in Guasave Cartel, in northern Sinaloa. But from fentanyl to cocaine, huge. The first narco-terrorism charges that the U.S. did under the second Trump administration were against his guys, right? Now, they say Sinaloa cartel. The Chapo Isidro is not Sinaloa cartel, not like that long ago, but that's just a different conversation. So I'd agree with you, even though Chapitos can do a lot of things, even in a weakened state. What's interesting, the South Africa raid, the drug lab in South Africa, the person identified and associated with that is more associated with the Mayos, more so than los Chapitos.
Okay, but I just saw one today, which is why I also bring this up, because I would like...
Is it the Nigeria one?
Yes.
So here's my theory. And it's very interesting, because I was talking to a reporter, I'm not going to name the news organization, but we all recognize the news organization, right? And this was months ago, actually I think in last year, where they did a story about actually Sinaloa cartel presence in the United States. And one of the conversations was, because one of the things that was bothering me was this idea of, why is it that we're seeing the Sinaloa cartel civil war be so rampant in Mexico, but that violence is not spreading outside of Mexico?
No, it's not.
And
it's been going on for 2 years now.
So what was interesting...
Because it's business as usual. Because as long as the work gets there, somebody's going to sell that work. We don't want part of your, sword swinging competition. We trying to get this money.
Millions.
If Maito Flaco wins, then I'm pretty sure the Guzmans will probably not be allowed in Sinaloa. It's going to be like the Damasos, who were also kicked out the straight. Crazy. The topography of Mexico, the topography of Sinaloa, everything changes. That lady be talking BS. Shout out CH1. El guano al fin el día es Chapo y tampoco lo quieren. Pero eso güey sí es bravo, man. They ain't got him yet. Shout out Declan. She comes across as a know-it-all. Yeah, I've heard that a time or two. Shout out Glory Days, man. If you come out here, definitely let me know. We got the best meat. Pause. But no, for real, best food, lamb, beef goes crazy. Bet. New Zealand. Trying to go to New Zealand. I don't like her. The way she talks about everything, it's like she hear it from Maito Flaco and Los Chapitos themselves. They sound very sure of the shit that they saying. Me, I don't know shit. Yeah. They sound like cartel people don't lie. Like they lie too. So I don't know.
And this report called me saying, does this make sense? No. Mexico.
No, it's.
But it's business as usual, man. Ain't that shit ain't spilling over here. It's business as usual.
Mexico. But that violence is not spreading outside of Mexico.
No, it's not.
It's so.
And it's been going on for 2 years now.
So what was interesting is, and this report called me saying, does this make sense to you? Because what he reported on, and this has been broadly tracked, is that if you talk to Sinaloa cartel leaders and key figures outside of Mexico, they would say, we want that the Sinaloa cartel civil war is a Mexico problem. They like will identify themselves to the Sinaloa cartel and they say, we had nothing to do with that, right? We're not seeing the violence in Mexico spread outside of Mexico from the Sinaloa cartel. Rarely do we see violence, even intra-cartel violence in Mexico, spread other parts. Maybe Ecuador is one of the exemptions. Maybe sometimes Colombia, but for the most part, they try to avoid that because that's where all the cocaine comes. But for the most part, it doesn't spread. And this report indicated that the Sinaloa cartel in the United States had specifically said, we don't view the Civil War as a problem here. And
You motherfuckers are crazy.
No. No, mommy's weak.
I don't like her. She talks about everything like she heard it from them themselves. There was an interview where she was talking about Mayo's capture and she was nearly in tears. Yeah, miss me with the performativeness. You know, passion is passion. I believe in passion. You get passion, you speak cool, but performative, motherfuckers see performative. Shut up, Velez. Wano's the only one who's been able to fight back. Give him a run for their money. Let's see how he can keep it up. Shout out Soul Man. This shit made me laugh. He said, man, this lady talk like she's having dinner with them and shit. That's just funny, man.
We haven't seen that violence spread. I think the one area where there were maybe some indications that the Sinaloa cartel civil war was starting to cause issues, not from a violence perspective, but more from like an identifier perspective, was Los Angeles, right? That was like the one area where maybe we're seeing indications that Chapitos Mayos fracture were being a little bit more prevalent from a psychological propaganda information warfare perspective. But again, not necessarily the violence. And I bring that up because if we're looking at it from Africa's perspective, but Africa's not the only one. I mean, we talked about this in multiple cases, how the new thing is the setting up drug labs outside of the Western Hemisphere, right? In these countries, so you're avoiding the transportation and you're setting up there. That's why recruiting chemists is so important. But it's important because if the Civil War, if there's a broad understanding that the Civil War is not intended to spread outside of Mexico, does it really matter then to analyze these from the construct of Chapitos Mayos? And I would make the argument it doesn't matter at that point. If you have groups that are, if you have the Sinaloa cartel that internationally is still operating as one group, when in Mexico it's splintered, and more importantly, in Mexico, Los Chapitos and Jalisco New Generation Cartel have that alliance, but you're not seeing, we're just basing on a public reporting, but we're not seeing the drug trafficking and the international presence of Los Chapitos start to be absorbed by Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Then the question is, well, can we even really analyze it from that perspective? And that's where I'm leaning towards no, where you have to differentiate the violence in Mexico and the cartel dynamics in Mexico compared to their international presence.
All right,
so that's the
recipes Chucky Chingong. She was muted.
To their international presence.
Shout out Chucky. It wasn't me this time, Chucky. R.I.P. brother. Chapo must be mad as hell at ADX at his kids. From being king to being exiled from his territory. Why would he be mad at them? Shit, he need to be mad at himself. He shit the bed.
Yo vivo tranquila con los peces en
Cagó
pecho en
el
la casa.
gallo. Cállate, hijo de puta.
You know, your children, you know, you do what you can, but if you push them in a certain direction, then you're responsible for that shit. Shouldn't have taken the old man. What makes those two characters Cartel special? Tell him, Shy. What makes those two characters Cartel special? Which one? You're muted, lady. Rest in peace, Chuck and Chico.
So that's because I don't disagree with you, and I'm not trying to make the argument that Chapitos are done for. And again, it's an assumption to say if Ivan falls or turns himself in. I mean, can you make the argument that the Chapitos completely go away? Does somebody else come over? Does the Jalisco Generation Cartel absorb? But there's a lot of ways you can argue one way or another. But in the end of the day, this is something like you and I think we have to kind of take a step back, and even some cartel observers who focus in Mexico is a lot of times we focus on the cartel dynamics inside of Mexico, and we're very, very like, okay, which plaza, which faction was doing this and what's doing that.
Not me. I don't give a fuck. That's too much information.
Too much information.
Fuck out of here. I don't need to know about nobody's plaza. Miss me with the bullshit. That's like, I need to know everybody's corner. Get the fuck out of here. I need to know all of the disposable paper soldiers that get thrown. I don't need to know none of that shit. Tell me what's going on with the bosses. They still snitching? What they doing? Just watched a bit about the bus in Nigeria. I heard they're moving in the South African military too. Listen, man, everybody's military. Okay, the U.S. training Mexican guys training African guys training Mexican guys, so on and so forth goes this thing of ours. You know, it is what it is.
And the rest of the world is more interested in the drug trafficking, right? And our focus on the cartel dynamics in Mexico almost makes us forget of the international component and the drug trafficking component of this.
Which is why I wanted to bring that up. And I do, my question about that too is, and I know a lot of people are wondering this, do you think that, I'm under the impression that Ivan will be captured or killed this year. Will that change in any way the flow of particularly fentanyl into the U.S.?
I mean, we've already seen a drop in seizures of fentanyl across the border. So I think we've already seen some of that impact. Methamphetamine still continue to be pushed heavily. A lot of that is coming from Durango, which is more mayos than chapitos. I think a lot of the damage has already been observed for Los Chapitos inside of Mexico and their ability to push fentanyl. And it's kind of hard to make the argument, is there more damage that can be done, right? So again, the question then becomes, if Ivan Archibaldo goes away, one way or another, what happens to Los Chapitos? So then the question is, do they disappear? Does somebody else take over? Or do they be absorbed by CGNG? Or maybe even in a crazy scenario, they might get the remaining leaders might
get absorbed to Maito Flaco.
Say, you know what? We're going to go with Mayo because we don't want to deal with CJNG.
I really think that it would be the case in which CJNG absorbs them.
She thinks so. She thinks they're going to absorb them.
I would have agreed with that. The only thing, though, is this René ceasefire. If it's true, if it's confirmed, the strong indications there's a ceasefire in southern Sinaloa. If that's the case, now granted, René's not the best case example and case study to make this argument. But if that's the case, there is an argument to be made, though, that he is doing that behind the back not only of Ivan Archibaldo, but of CJNG. And so that does indicate that there might be still opportunities for factions of Los Chapitos, however few are left, to become volteados and join the Mayos. And not necessarily CJNG, because if you join CJNG, you're subservient to CJNG. But how we've kind of seen Mayo operate with Los Volteados is he's been differential and saying, hey, Volteados, you still get to control your plazas. I am not going to take that away from you. You switch sides to me. You're loyal to me. You get to keep control and power of the areas you control. I don't see CJ&G doing that, right? Los Cardinero guys kind of came in and in many aspects kind of started to take control from a battlefield perspective. Yogur, his guys.
No. What the hell?
Yogur. No, y'all are wild.
No, mommy's wake.
Shout out Zoraida. They told her at the carne asada that the CJ&G was gonna absorb them. Right? They told her at the carne asada. I don't think they would want the CJ. I don't think they would want to let CJ&G take over Sinaloa. I agree, but "let" is a strong word. You know. El yogur.
Under Los Cardinero guys kind of came in and in many aspects kind of started to take control from a battlefield perspective. Yogur, his guys under a specific leader called El 17, the 17 faction of Yogur, they've kind of taken a much more frontal approach. So if you're a Chapito, right, unless you're directly under the orders of Ivan Archibaldo, right, it's very hard to make the argument to say, would I rather risk trying to be a volteado with the Mayos or lose my power and influence and be subservient to CGG? And that's the conversation maybe a lot of these plaza bosses are having. And some of them might say, I'll go with CGNG. We can at least pretend still be feo, the Fuerzas Especiales Unión, which is just bullshit. It's really just CGNG. But it might not be, Karen, I guess long answer short is, I think we're going to see instances of multiple things, all these cases happening at once. We'll have some volteados, some of them being absorbed by CGNG, and some of them might just become completely independent. And I think we're going to see all that. And from a drug trafficking perspective into the United States, we've already seen a degradation of fentanyl. If there's a scenario where let's say there's a peace in Sinaloa, if there's an agreement, well, generally, you can see how in many aspects, the cessation of cartel violence enhances drug trafficking. So, if Ivan Archibaldo collapses and leaves and dies, and Los Chapitos disappear off the face of the earth, and now you have, for the most part, Sinaloa under Los Mayos and Chapo Isidro, they're going to be pushing drugs like maniacs.
Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. If you've been here more than 5 minutes, we've entertained you and we've earned that like. Let's get to 40.
Because the war is over.
And it will be a shit show, as per usual, and likely, maybe, during the FIFA World Cup. So, let's see how that goes.
Damn, it sounds like you want that news day. What?
Will be a shit show, as per usual, and likely, maybe, during the FIFA World Cup. So, let's see how that goes. Thank you so much for chatting with me. I always appreciate you.
That shit was awkward. I had to laugh the way he said yogur. CJ&G don't got a leader. It's only a matter of time before they start fighting each other. Probably already started.
You giving our audience some of your insight. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kata. Thank you. What is it? All Source News? What's do shit?
Tuning into this episode because, as you know, the hunt for Ivan is on. It's heating up more than ever before. You want to say anything more?
Nah, he's dumbfounded at these commercials that you're doing for the tragedy in FIFA that hasn't happened yet and the hunt for Ivan Archibaldo. The hunt has begun. It's like she's selling a movie and shit. She did an advertisement for a movie earlier. Maybe that, stuck.
I would just say thank you very much, Katerina, for having me. I mean, it was a great conversation. I think Ivan Archibaldo is an enigma. A lot of the reporting that we're getting is kind of all over the place. You can make the argument that might be by design. And so it's kind of hard to get there. But do not underestimate the loyalty Ivan has under Los Chapitos. I mean, the people that are Chapitos, who identify as Chapitos, adore Ivan, are loyal to Ivan, will die for Ivan, right? So even how we're having the conversation of his overall power and his weakness, his supporters don't view it like that. And they're extremely loyal and they continue to fight no matter what. So regardless, I think that's why Ivan is such a central figure, because if he were to go away, it's really hard to then see that loyalty be replaced by anybody else, specifically Jesus Alfredo. Although there might be a universe where that's an option. But again, this is an important conversation. And I think if Ivan falls and how he falls will have broad implications in Mexico, and we'll have to analyze it. But
100%.
with that, thank you very much,
We're going to see some sort of tipo Culiacanazo. And remember, like you said, yeah, the people under Ivan are extremely loyal.
No, mommy's wake.
Implications in Mexico, and we'll have to analyze it. But with that, thank you very much,
100%. We're going to see some sort of tipo Culiacanazo. And remember, like you said, yeah, the people under Ivan are extremely loyal from the bottom to the top, because these guys would rather steal food than go and make the money to be able to buy it.
You motherfuckers just told me that full-on factions have been turning and flipping to the other side. Now you want to tell me how these is loyal dogs. Miss me with the bullshit, please. Okay?
And have to leave Ivan. That is 100%. Thank you, Stefano, so much. And thank you guys so much for watching.
Shout out, Stefano. Shout out, Gata. Appreciate y'all. Coño, man.
Coño, man.
The fuck they talking about? They get a better deal with the Mayos. He's like, too much fucking information.
Too much information and shit.
Oh, mommy's way.
No, mommy's wake.
Shout out Spartan. Happy Friday, Shy and chat. I know people always say, huh? The Chapitos run things in LA, but I don't. Just, huh? I don't, so just shut the fuck up. Plus, don't joke like that. It can get me sent to the upper room. Spartan, you gotta retype that shit. You got me all fucked up over here. You got me sounding like I had some kind of fucking stroke or some shit. You talking about them? Yeah, you gotta redo that one. Try again. Go get your.
Let me get your fucking shine box.
All right, man. I don't know. They said a bunch of shit. Good conversation. All right, they got it from sources, fuentes. Okay, they got their inside sources. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. Again, smoke them if you got them, drink them if you got them. If you're sober, here's a hug from me to you. To everybody getting money on the road, safe travels. To everybody getting home to their family or getting to that money, safe travels. Shout out Shannon. Yeah, Spartan Force. We don't want that. No getting sent to the upper room. Yeah, none of that
upper room.
None of that shit. I'm going to work on the soundboard at some point this week. I'm just building the robot, all right? Second test is tonight. First test was successful. Second test is tonight. All right? Your boy going to be cutting out shortly. I was going to leave now, but let's go do one more video from Buddy with the fucking mask on. And because I always feel guilty leaving y'all too early. Oh, no, okay, that's why it sounded like that. Shout out Spartan. That makes more sense. That was in my best cat telling stories voice. Okay, you tried. Well, I mean, no, you might have nailed it because I was sounded like I was saying a spell or some shit. Salutes. Hold on, man. All right, we're gonna do one more Cartel Insider video, and then your boy's gonna kick rocks. I'm gonna get the system running and chill out for the rest of the night. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. Let's get to 40. Let's see what we got here. They bogus. These motherfuckers bogus. Remember, they took the twins' pictures. I saw another video recently. You want to hear something else hilarious about this picture? Remember, we was talking about this picture right here, about how they took the twins' picture and they put somebody else's head on it. I saw a video where they put a gun in that hand right there, in that hand that's over Jay's shoulder. They put a over P's shoulder. They put a gun in that hand. It's like, come on, man, stop the bullshit.
Bullshit.
Man. Get the fuck out of here.
No mommy's weak.
Chapito Guzman will become a name around, but not a powerful faction anymore. How they saying in that video? Nah, shit's changed. The whole thing has evolved, man. Nobody's as powerful as they once were. I believe that all the old man's connections were a key thing, and that shit is gone. And another thing, think about the amount of politicians, the heat's on them now, but think about the amount of politicians over the last 50 years. Politicians, municipal police, state police, all of this shit, city police, governors, senators. Think about all of the ones over the last 50 years that got away with murder. AI bullshit. Yeah. Some of it's bullshit. I think since we're keeping up with this mental shit, let's see what's up with this Jardinero, because they just got his ass. Let's check out El Jardinero's video.
They call him El Jardinero.
You gotta relax, fake Russian guy. Fake Russian leaks. What if they surrender, so man? Shout out Eddie Jimenez, bro. I saw that edited pic with the pistol. Had me cracking up. I was like, what? They put a pistol in his hand? People so thirsty for the romanticized version, right? You could have the truth. If the truth isn't as romantic as the fantasy, they don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. What is it saying? It's a newspaper saying, when a legend becomes the truth, print the legend. That's the world we live in. Everything, we used to call it marketing. All it's been is manipulation. That's it. Same with videos on YouTube. It's all, learn how to get the hook at the beginning, the 30 seconds that captures them and keeps them. It's all manipulation. They're going to put a pistol in Jay's hand and shit. They wildin'. Because they want that sexy story. That ain't the story. The story is, nah, not that. Not that the man didn't never had a gun or nothing, but what the fuck? Let's get it. El Jardinero, the scammer, who almost, but not quite. Hold on, let me start this. El Jardinero, the scammer, who almost took over El Mentos cartel. Almost. But the other guy said, go get your fucking shine box.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
You get out of here. Let's get it.
They call him El Jardinero, the gardener. And not because he has a thing for plants. What this man had been growing for over a decade was a criminal empire, generating close to $500 million a year, while also running scams that stole hundreds of millions from regular Americans. He was El Mencho's right hand, the number 2 of CJNG, and on April 27, 2026, the Mexican Navy showed up with 500 soldiers and 6 Black Hawks to get him. The 60 hitmen guarding him fled like rats, leaving him alone. And
remember, we had that conversation. They said, they fled to distract police from him.
Bullshit.
They fled because, fuck, dude, I'm gone. That's why they fled. Shout out Shannon, allegedly. Like I always remind you, allegedly. They fled because fuck that.
Jardinero, they found him with 500 soldiers and 6 Black Hawks to get him. The 60 hitmen guarding him fled like rats, leaving him alone. And El Jardinero, they found him hiding in a drainage ditch. Today I'm telling you his story, because this just happened.
That's a clean ass shirt, man, for being hiding. What if this was all theatrics? And he was like, I don't want nobody to know I'm cooperating. I need y'all to put on a show and come get me. No? Yee.
There are details nobody else is covering, and all of this is going to genuinely surprise you. My name is Nicola, and welcome to the Cartel Insider.
Pretty hard to surprise us over here. We don't give a fuck at this point.
Audias Flores Silva was born on November 19, 1980, in Huetanamo, Michoacan, a small mountain town, the kind of place in Mexico that has produced a lot of the biggest names in the drug trade. From a young age he got into trafficking, and from a young age he made his first major mistake. He got caught in the United States. He was charged with drug trafficking, convicted, and served 5 years in a US prison. When he got out, he came back to Mexico, and he came back different. More mature, more calculated, more disciplined.
Look, man, everybody be like, the twins, they don't look like no cartel guys. Who does this guy look like, bro? Huh? Who does this guy look like to you? He looks like a cartel guy? Huh? This guy looks like he drives a produce truck. This guy looks like he works at the DMV. This guy looks like he owns a corner store. This guy looks like he works at Walmart, Lowe's. People just want this fantasy land shit.
That's when he met the man who would define the rest of his life, Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, El Mencho. Inside the cartel he picked up several aliases: El Audi, El Bravo Dos, El Matajefes, El Señor de las Flores, and the one that stuck was El Jardinero. But his career wasn't a straight line. In 2016 he was arrested by Mexican authorities, accused of his alleged role in an ambush on police officers in Jalisco. The massacre of 15 cops, an incredibly brutal crime. They arrested him. But El Jardinero had contacts. 3 years.
Boy, you get out from after massacring 16 cops is crazy. Charaveles, mejor que digan aquí corrieron que aquí murieron. Better that they say they ran here than they died here. He looks like Martin that cuts my grass. Salutes. Alright. Let's ask this Russian to pronounce El Yogur. He'll have a full fucking meltdown. Whole shit will glitch out. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so.
Later, in 2019, using his lawyers and his connections, he got his freedom back. Just walked out. And when he did, he didn't go into hiding.
16 cops just walked out. See, he looked like a totally different dude with the mustache. See, I don't know if they be getting it right. That looked like a different nose.
He went straight back into the CJNG structure, stronger than ever. This is where the story gets interesting. A lot of people think El Jardinero was just some armed group commander who ran his crew, not even close. He was also moving massive quantities of drugs. He was a top-level operator, a narco businessman, if you want to call it that. His network moved every single year 5 tons of cocaine, around $75 million, 9 tons of heroin, another 160 million, 43 tons of marijuana, 95 million more, and 10 tons of meth, another 35 million. And if you add fentanyl, you can tack on many more millions. I just don't have that specific number. So in total his structure was generating over $400 million a year, close to $500 million just from drugs. To pull that off, he controlled ports, clandestine labs, warehouses, secret airstrips, the full operation, semi-trucks hauling cocaine up from Central America, distribution cells across the U.S.
Bastardizing the chiles. How dare you put the bolsita and the chiles and shit.
US, California, Texas, Illinois, and product reaching all the way to Spain. His territory was enormous. Jalisco, Nayarit, Zacatecas, Michoacan, Guerrero. And here's something almost nobody knows. El Jardinero wasn't just moving drugs. He was also scamming American tourists. How? Timeshares. The scheme worked like this. He ran call centers in Mexico with staff that spoke fluent English. They'd get information on American timeshare owners in Mexico, mostly
Shout out Velez. This dude saw his ledgers to know exact numbers. He got them from Kata. Got the numbers from Kata. All these guys be throwing around numbers, man. I ain't throwing around shit. I just throw around millions. You know what I'm saying? I ain't throwing around no fucking numbers. I let Jay do that shit. I let P do that shit. Why? Because they know the fucking numbers. These guys, they be like, listen, I was in his bank account online and I got to see everything and who got paid. It's like, miss me with the bullshit.
Bullshit.
Older people, people with lifetime savings, through inside share owners in Mexico with staff that spoke fluent English.
So he was a straight scammer.
He was also scamming American tourists. How? Timeshares. The scheme worked like this. He ran call centers in Mexico with staff that spoke fluent English. They'd get information on American timeshare owners in Mexico, mostly older people, people with lifetime savings, through inside contacts at tourist resorts. Then they'd call them or email them, posing as real estate agents, lawyers, sales representatives.
Now that's an organized ass crime right there, boy.
Telling them they had buyers ready to purchase their timeshare at a great price. But first, there were fees to pay, and of course that money never came back. And when the victim realized they'd been conned, sometimes another contact would appear, someone pretending to be a lawyer or a government official, offering to help recover the lost money. That was also the cartel. They'd take another payment. The US Department of the Treasury has this operation directly tied to El Jardinero and the CJNG in Puerto Vallarta and Riviera Nayarit. Between 2019 and 2023, the FBI received over 6,000 complaints from American victims who lost nearly $300 million to these scams. 300 million just from timeshares. Now here's the part that nobody saw coming in 2024. When the war in Sinaloa between Los Chapitos, El Chapo's sons, and El Mayo Zambada's faction spiraled out of control, the Chapitos needed backup, and to find it they knocked on the door of the man who kidnapped them back in 2016, the CJNG, and the man who opened that door was El Jardinero. He met with representatives of the Guzman family, including Alejandro Guzman, a cousin of Los Chapitos, in Guadalajara and Nayarit, acting directly on El Mencho's behalf. The terms of the deal were, the CJNG would lend manpower and weapons to Los Chapitos, and in return, the Guzman brothers would open up some of their routes for Jalisco product. By late 2024, the rumors exploded online. A video surfaced of armed men shouting, "The rumors are true, CJNG and Los Chapitos are together now," firing into the air.
Come on, man. Once that had, it's like, come on. Once the old man got thrown in the trunk of a fucking private jet, like so many things that happened that was stranger than fiction that nobody could even, you couldn't write it. That was one of them. That was one of them.
Celebrating what looked like a new era.
Rumores son ciertos. La alianza del Cártel Jalisco Nueva Generación y la Chapiza está confirmada. La limpia ha comenzado. Pura gente del señor Mecho y del señor Iván.
There also were pictures of armed groups wearing patches reading Gente del Jardinero, El Jardinero's people, rolling into Sinaloa to back the Chapitos. By 2025, people started talking about Mencho, assigning him as the Chapitos' head of security. Though let me be clear, that's not true. The Chapitos already have their own security.
If what he's saying is true, you're right, Velez. Did the pizzas go looking for help or did the CJNG offer it? Whatever Jardinero's connection was to them, whether it be Alexander or whoever it be, they probably had private conversations about, coño, man, la cosa tan dura. Need some help. She's getting rough out here. And then they said, well, maybe we could work something out. And then that turned into something else. I don't know, but you got a point. Pizzas weren't looking for help, or did the CJNG offer it? Either way, they accepted it. You let the wolf in the hen. You would let the wolf in the hen house. El que no tranza no avanza. He who is not a crook does not advance. Ain't that the truth? Nice guys finish last, pero el que cae preso le caen adentro. Okay, so relax. So man, so if they turn themselves in, so they surrender. If they surrender, Guano stays. And El Gabacho. But that whole little Chapo's thing will be over.
Security chief, but El Jardinero Nacho, assigning him as the Chapitos head of security. Though let me be clear, that's not true. The Chapitos already have their own security chief, but El Jardinero was sending them serious manpower, a lot of people, including hitmen brought in from Colombia, and Nayarit became a safe zone. The Martinez Larios brothers, El Gabito and El Casco, their boss El Cuarenta, major Chapito figures and guys who ran operations in Mazatlan, all of them escaping the Sinaloa War. Even Ivan Archivaldo himself, El Chapo's oldest son, took refuge there. Everyone found cover in El Jardinero's territory. Then came February 2026. The Mexican army killed El Mencho, and in that vacuum El Jardinero's position shifted completely. He had been number 3 while Mencho was alive, behind Mencho and his stepson, known as L03. With Mencho dead, his relevance shot up to number 2 in the cartel. The DEA had him figured out. Back in May 2025, they'd already put out an international alert and offered $5 million for information leading to his capture. On April 27, 2026, the Mexican Navy executed one of the biggest operations of the year. 19 months of surveillance. The target, the small community of El Mirador in Nayarit, near the
500 soldiers is crazy against 61 dudes. It's pretty nuts. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. Let's get to 40.
Jalisco border. What they found was a well-protected Jardinero. He wasn't out there alone or low-key. He had a security ring of 60 armed men and 30 trucks with him every time. But the government didn't show up with 4 patrol cars. They came with 4 surveillance aircraft, 6 Black Hawk helicopters, 120 direct action troops, and 400 naval support elements. Over 500 military personnel total. The sicarios, the same ones.
Shout out Shannon for the flow state. 200 joules. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Shannon. Salutes to you. I like the flow state. Get in the flow state. Salutes.
Who brag in corridos about being the bravest and best equipped, shouting their
dudes walking around with a 50 cal.
Boss's name with pride. Ran when they saw that air.
Don't they sound like the Minions? Not the language, just the fact that they're all saying the same shit over each other.
Their boss's name with pride. Ran when they saw that air deployment. 60 against 500 with helicopters overhead.
Everybody ran. All that shit. And then they took off running. That shit sounded like this. Hold on, I gotta play it back. Hold on.
There was no air deployment. Ran when they saw that air deployment. 60 against 500 with helicopters overhead. There was no way. El Jardinero tried to escape. Based on what you can see in the drone footage, he made it down to the road and took off into the brush. He found what he thought was his way out, a drainage ditch. He crawled in there to hide. What he didn't know is that they were watching him from miles.
I don't think he made it inside that drainage ditch. I mean, he made it that far, but that shirt was too clean.
Above. The second he went into that
I'm obsessed with the clean shirt. Like, that shit, it don't make sense.
Pipe, the soldiers walked right over and pulled him out. They literally fished him out of a drainage ditch, safe and sound, no shots fired. The man who moved close to $500 million a year found hiding in a pipe. He was then airlifted by helicopter to Mexico City. That same day, in Zapopan, Jalisco, the Army and the National Guard arrested Cesar Alejandro, known as El Güero Conta, El Jardinero's financial operator, the man who laundered the money through shell companies, frontmen, aircraft, boats, houses.
They got him kind of quick right after they got the gardener, huh? Pretty fast when they got that other guy.
Ranches, and even tequila producers. Double hit one day. Now the question everyone's asking, what happens next? El El Jardinero was, from everything I've been told, a man with a lot of charisma despite being a small guy. That's how people who knew him described him. He was someone who's going to be very hard to replace in terms of real leadership, personality, the kind of trust he built inside the organization. His likely successor, though I can't confirm this, could be Raul Morin, La Fresa. And none of this means the structure is going to collapse. Organizations like his have layers, they have people, they have resources. The drugs are going to keep moving, the roots are going to stay active. And on the other side, there's an equally important question. What happens to the Chapito C-JNG alliance that El Jardinero helped build? Without its architect, does that deal survive? I personally think that yes, but we'll find out in the coming months. Because in this world, power vacuums fill up fast, and usually with blood. I'm Nicola from the CARTEL.
Alright, shout out to the fake Russian. Appreciate it's a day giveaway. Can't be having a clean shirt. No, can't have a clean shirt, man. Alright, hit that like button if you have yet to do so. Make sure you sub up to my other channels. Right now that I have the system in place, I will be much more active on the other channels, and I would like to have my live streams that are for those channels on those channels. So I like to have my audience follow me there. Those that fuck with me, that aren't just in it for the cartel content, but fuck with me, meet me there. Sub up to them other channels. Alright, I plan on, getting the fight channel back up and running, the true crime channel up and running, the film channel up and running, all of that. Alright. Gonna take me some more tinkering, but we're getting there. Alright. Yeah, he can't have a clean shirt. He wildin'. I don't blame them. Everybody's afraid of the minigun. That thing spits death, indeed. I never got to see that video. They said there was a video. Who was it that they said that they hit him with that turret gun? Somebody. I don't know if it was one of the Beltrans. Somebody got hit with that shit. All right, now with my new system, I'm going to be buying some time back, so I'll be able to get all of these channels running.
At Velas408 sent $9.99 on YouTube.
Shout out Velez for the $10 super chat for the cerveza. So I will bust out another one. Salutes. Appreciate you. Boom. Alright, let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me get my drink. Shout out Velez. They got H2 and Danyari. He was Belcher. I never got to see that video. I saw some, but there's somebody that told me that there was a video. Like, it shouldn't be, like, you can't play it on YouTube style video. But it turns out El Jardinero was a dirtbag. What a surprise. Alright. Shout out Velez for the guava. Right, we 5% alcohol by volume. As long as we keep it 5%, it don't matter what it tastes like. Shout out Agent Torres on the check-in. Salute, Shy, everyone in the chat. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. Thank y'all for getting me the 40 likes. I appreciate y'all. We had a good time tonight. We covered a bunch. Now I get to see my system work. I get to see my system break down each segment into its own video with its own package of metadata, with its own shorts videos, with its own thumbnail, all that shit. Shout out Adrian. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way in. Please do. On your way in, on your way out, while you're sitting around, all of that shit. Yeah, they tore up the place he was staying with that mini. Well, he wasn't standing outside like, okay, I told you, look at you now. Huh? He wasn't standing outside like that. They just blew the building up. Coño, man.
Coño, man.
All right, this system works out. We'll be able to have more live streams on the other channel. I'm excited. I just got to keep tinkering. All right, life be lifing, but we all know that. See what we got over here. Velez, where your dog at? Send him the fuck off. Shot, who do you have winning the NBA Finals? Papa, I don't even know who's in that shit. Who is it? What is it? The Knicks in it? The Knicks in the finals? What's happening? Tell me the truth. Let me know what's going on. I don't even know. I've been getting joy out of watching 20-somethings watch 20-somethings that swear by LeBron watch Michael Jordan mixtape videos and changing their mind and realizing they didn't know what the fuck they was talking about. Knicks are in it. Against who? Golden State? The fucking Knicks, huh? Everybody made fun of the Cubs for so long. Goddamn Knicks. I hated those motherfuckers when I was a kid. I used to love when Michael Jordan knocked John Starks off his ass. Waiting for OKC versus the Spurs to see who advances. Okay. Shout out Velez. Him and his guys were standing outside shooting at the Blackhawk, but they had no chance. Nah, at that point, look, I got this.
Oh shit, not good.
Not good. Flag on the play.
Emotional, damn it.
Xander Zayas versus Boots Ennis. When is that? Is that tomorrow? I don't know that's tomorrow. Hold on, let me see. Nah, that's the 27th. Coño, man. Fuck me up, dude.
Coño, man.
Who's fighting tomorrow, man? No fighting tomorrow? I have Velez watching Ray J get knocked the fuck out. Ray J thought he was going to win a parlay or some shit. Sit your stupid ass down. A fight is a fight. I've been in the Discord dropping videos of this bodybuilder that thought he could smack around anybody that's 140 pounds and they beat his ass. And now he's studying to be a mixed martial artist. Amazing. Too much information and shit. Who you got, Adrian?
Too much information and shit.
Who you got? You want the Knicks to break the curse? Melo need to come out of retirement or whatever the fuck he's in. Try to get a piece of that. Yeah, I don't care, man. I like watching these kids eat humble pie talking shit about Michael Jordan. I like that shit. They be like, oh my God, I just realized all of the players today, they all studied Michael Jordan. And all of them do one of the things, but he did all of the things. Yeah, motherfucker, we've been trying to tell you. You guys don't like information.
Too much information.
They are the first generation, or the first generations, that don't have to carry around a 50-book encyclopedia kit to get the world's information at the palm of your hand. There's no reason you should be a kid growing up and hearing all this LeBron shit and don't want to go see no Michael Jordan video when the history's right there. All you got to do is go look at it for yourself. See that shit. And then you make your decision. But if you ain't got the information,
too much information and shit.
You got to shut the fuck up with your opinion.
Shut up, bitch! Shut your fucking mouth!
That's what it is. Shout out Adrian. I don't mind if the Knicks win it all. Get it. Salute to the Knicks. CJ&G shot some military helicopter down a few years back, right? Quite possible. I believe so. I believe they tried to take down a plane too, if I recall correctly. Indeed. Shout out Adrian Torres. They got all the world's information in the palm of their hand. You don't have to argue to yourself or argue with people. If your argument is not legit about anything, don't talk to me about a movie you ain't watched. Don't talk to me about a player not being better than so-and-so when you ain't seen the other guy play. Don't talk to me about Chris Brown being the new Michael Jackson or Drake until you see what Michael Jackson was able to do without the internet. You know? What the fuck are we talking about here? Oh, but these live streamers, they get 1 million people in the street too because they're live streaming. So everybody can see where they're at. People don't have to give a fuck about the live streamer to go be on his stream. People like Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan back in the day, those people tried to hide where they was going to be. And the world will find out, find their ass. It's a different world we live in. We can't compare the two things. We peaked in the 90s, I'm sorry. We peaked. But don't argue with me about LeBron if you don't know what Jordan did. Miss me with the bullshit. Don't tell me that Larry Bird is unathletic and this and that and the other and he wasn't shit. What? He revolutionized the game. Not only revolutionized the game, but revolutionized shit talk. Michael Jordan took that shit to the next level. I want to punch little Steve Kerr in his shit. Hunters up in the chat for y'all, man. We just hanging out talking bullshit at this point. Your boy about to kick rocks. We've been here 2 hours and 40 minutes. I know it's usually longer, but I got a little bit of content to throw in the system and see how that works. That's gonna take me to at least 3, 4, 5 in the morning, or not. Jordan 6-0 in the finals. You know, MVPs, all defensive player. Come on. LeBron needs to retire. And here's the thing. He don't have to. Do your thing. And he ain't the one making the comparisons. And when he does, it's like, okay, I guess you're supposed to. It's everybody else, but they don't have the information. And your opinion can't mean much to me if you don't have all the information. I was there. I sat in Chicago Stadium and watched that man play. I watched him lose a game, and the highlight of the night be him dunking on motherfuckers. LeBron cries more than he plays. And the game is different to me. The game has become a joke. Somebody tried to say, oh, but Scotty used to fly, but Scotty, you give him contact. You got to make contact. These fools ain't making contact. These fools is one dude's on the other side of the rim, one dude's over here. He said, tira al piso, and he starts shaking and shit. They wilding like a bunch of hoes. LeBron is stat padding. Yeah, he got a long career, you know. He was able to keep his body in check. But I'd pick a D Rose. If D Rose was healthy for the same amount of time as LeBron, I'd go with D Rose. But I'm biased. But he's every bit of what they say he was. And they go straight to LeBron like Kobe didn't exist. Like, miss me with the bullshit. It's because they don't have the information. And then the ones that have the information, they want to appeal to the ones that don't. They got magnets in the balls all the time. Come on, now you wildin'. But I remember when the cheating refs were a conspiracy, and that shit turned out to be true. LeBron's the master that. No mama said, tira de piso.
No mommy's wait.
Ow. He hit me. Bro, he's over there. Fuck is you talking about? Crazy. Magnets in the ball is crazy. Wow. I need the video. You gotta show me the receipts on that one. But what's up? UFC ain't got no fights tomorrow. I need to see some violence. Some controlled, legal violence. Fixing games. They was betting on games and dropping fouls on people and shit. OKC is mastering flopping. I don't I don't doubt it. Those guys better actors than me. Alright? And I'm a professional. Shout out 509. ¿Qué onda, primo? Salute to you, 509. Good to see you, bro. Oh, shit. Song Yadong is fighting. But damn, that shit's in 8 hours. What the fuck? Where they at? Yeah, they in China. He could fight, though. Damn, versus Davidson Figueroa, that's a good fight. I might have to set an alarm and wake up to see that fight. What time is the main card? Main card is at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. Shit, that's my bedtime. What the fuck? How many main card fights? Yeah, Duke could fight. But Davidson's a former champ. Davidson could fight. This is a good fight right here. I like this. Light heavyweights, hopefully they ended early. Come on, it's an early fight. Heavyweights, hopefully y'all ended early. Prelims start at 3 a.m. Ray J got knocked out. Yeah, we was talking about it. I was talking about it with Velez, because Velez was like, yo, you got me watching fucking Ray J fight. Yeah, well, Ray J got knocked the fuck out. Ray J thought he was going to make a bet. He thought he was going to hit a parlay 509. Roll up. Papa, I've been getting lit this whole time. All right? I'm packed. Ready to go. Couldn't find the video. Just saw his ass lying in a hospital bed for 3 days. Yeah, he got fucked up. But you got to see the clip afterwards where he's like, you like that? You did it like that? Like, and dude didn't throw one punch at him in the first round. So they were definitely, what's the word? They had some shit going on. They had some kind of agreement, or Ray J thought they did, but Ray J looks like the typical dude that knew he wasn't going to win that fight. And I knew it when he went to train with Rampage and he was playing around. His insecurities and his embarrassment came early, so he didn't take it seriously so he can have an excuse later. And then he tried to make a deal, knew he was going to lose that fight, tried to make a deal to win a bet, and the shit went left, and he got knocked out for real. That was not no acting. That was a very real knockout. That's a very real concussion he took, right? He got a heart monitor. He said he does. I can't believe much that dude says. Who we betting on over here? I would go with the underdog on this just because Song Yadong's a good fighter. And, with the favorite. Song Yadong's a good fighter. David Figueroa's I'd go with the underdog. I'd go with David Figueroa. They're too close. And this guy was a champion, so I don't know. I'm not good at that shit, bro. I'll tell you who I want to win. There was a time where it was easier to call MMA fights. They're too close now for me, and anything can happen. Anybody can end the fight. I thought Ray J claimed he was dying and had some type of medical issue. Yeah, the guy needs to keep his name in the news cycle. He always has. The guy got one hit. He's famous for being somebody's brother and a sex tape that made somebody else famous. Pendejo, if all these medical claims are true. That was a real knockout. Got knocked the fuck out. Bro, Ray J was so mad he let it out the bag and screamed. That's not how we planned it. Yeah, he was wild. Bien pendejo. Real stupid.
Adios, pendejo.
Damn, we ain't put nobody in the bathroom.
Put him in the fucking bedroom.
Shout out JP. JP out there in the streets. Zorada got snacks. You got the Himalayan pink salt popcorn. Coño, man. Got a Buddha on that shit. Whose brother is he? You didn't know he's somebody's brother? He's Brandy's brother. Nobody know no goddamn Ray J without Brandy. He got knocked the fuck out though. Real stupid looking. I mean, it was bullshit fights, from motherfuckers that can't fight. But, whenever a fight breaks out, you go watch it. So, this is going to be good. But this ain't going to be till, I'm going to say, not till 8 a.m., 8:30. So, maybe I wake up early for that. Maybe I go to bed early, wake up early for that, man. Fucking Macau, China, y'all wildin'. I thought he was just famous for Kim K. No. He been keeping himself in the news cycle for 30 years. Reggie thought his opponent was going to go along with a scripted fight, but boy, was he wrong. And here's the thing. Dude must have put a bet on himself for a knockout in the second round because he didn't throw nothing. He simply survived the first round. He threw not one punch in the first round. Ray J thought his opponent was going to go along with the scripted fight, but he was wrong. Brandy's brother, Brandy R&B singer in the late 90s. Yeah. I probably aged out Velez. He probably didn't know. Brandy? Who's Brandy? I drink brandy. Saca la bolsita. Too young. We don't listen to that old head shit. What about Game 7 tomorrow night? Somebody was just talking about that shit. Shout out Adrian. Adrian was just talking about that. What's that? OKC versus the Spurs? I gave up on ball sports a long time ago. MMA. Me, I like making money. So if I'm going to put money on an underdog, these guys, to me, this is a pick 'em. I'll put the money on Davis and Figueroa. That's where my money would go. I don't like going and getting favorite money. I put it, if the underdog, to me, feels like a dog that could pull it, then boom. But again, these are not, this is just me allegedly throwing bullshit out there. But I'd go with the underdog in this fight. If he were the underdog, I would have gone with him because it's just too close. Boom. I always bet the underdog too. Yeah. Well, if it's a fighting dog, yeah. Sometimes he's in that spot because he deserved to be. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Velez for the Uncle alert. Coño, man.
Coño, man.
That ain't the flow state for 440 joules. Shout out Velez. No mama's way.
No mommy's way.
Zorada, what is Unc? Like the uncle. Like the old head. Yeah, so if I was putting money on this fight, I'd be putting money on Deiveson Figueiredo. Uncle, yeah. Miss me with the unk shit. Shout out Velez. I cumplido mi condena. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. If you've been here more than 5 minutes, we've entertained you. And we've earned it. Right? Your boy been here 3 hours. I'm going to kick rocks. Test the system. Get these edits out. And we'll hang out and do more hood rat stuff with our friends this week.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
Shout out 509. El Ruco. El Tío Mío. Alright, salutes to y'all. Let me run through the, hold on, this recording should have stopped a long time ago. Hundreds up for y'all. Let me run through the top list. Shout out Velez. Salutes to you. Salutes to Shannon, Zoraida, Glory Days, Declan, 298 Sosa, FJM, Primo, Soul Man, Eddie Jimenez, Upper Echelon, Ducky, Dapper, Dede, 509, Spartan, Michael, Johnny, Adrian Torres, Sam, Mr. Joshua, D-Life, Zoo, Elizabeth, EC, 12, Willie Palms, Judy, HG, Beefman 10K, HG again, 323G, and CH1. Hold on, I saw Beefman had a comment in here, but I didn't peep it. Oh, shout out Beefman 10K, Nashville, Tennessee. Salutes to you. Salutes to Nashville. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for coming through. Shout out 509. Peace to you, sir. Have a great night. Get that money.
Million.
Looks like my goofy ass will be waking up early to watch the fights, because why not? I make my own schedule, right? Fuck 'em. Shout out Velez, Adrian Torres, 509. Everyone have a blessed weekend. Buenos nachos. Salutes. Buenas noches, Zoraida. Appreciate y'all. We had a good time. We hung out. We did our thug thizzle.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
Maybe I'll let the system handle its business and I'll go enjoy a movie or some shit. I don't know. Shout out Eddie Jimenez. Have a great weekend, y'all. Salutes to you. Shout out Shannon. Everyone have a good rest of the night. Keep your head on a swivel and stay safe out there. Agreed. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Shannon. Thank you to all the donators. Thank you to all the wrenches, the usual suspects, everybody that bought me a drink. I appreciate you all. Right? And we will keep it popping around here. Make sure you keep hitting that like button. Make sure on all the videos, make sure you go in there. And if you're busy doing something, go on, throw it. If you don't even want to hear it, throw that shit on mute. Let that shit ride. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. I appreciate you all. The channel's growing. We're moving forward, and I'm just gonna work harder. Shout out Zoraida. Shad, thank you for a great live as always. Blessings, and again, my condolences. May you and your fans have a good weekend. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Zoraida. Salutes to you. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. And I know I've said it every week, but I'm going to get to Cartel episode 6. That shit's about to get popping. Got the system in play. I had to slow down, get the system in play. Don't trip. The graph, our views are in the dirt right now. It's time for the getting back to normal. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Salutes to y'all. Have a great night. I will holla. Peace. Thank you, Shannon. Appreciate you. You too, Zoraida. Shout out Soul Man. Peace.